Get the fuck up on my way. Hey, yeah, I'm pouring out the ace. 10 bad bitches and they all throwing cake. Okay, she a pretty little dime piece. Shorty know what time it is. I don't need a timepiece. Chrome hearts on my jeans. She was throwing cake, so I took her back to my suite. I gave her icing. She like her icing. When she saw my chain, she said, damn, that looks pricey. I know she like me. There's no question. If you ain't getting lit, bitch, get up out the section. Hey, move, bitch, I'm trying to race. If you ain't come to party, get the fuck up out my way. Hey, yeah, I'm pouring out the ace. 10 bad bitches and they all throwing cake. Hey, move, bitch, I'm trying to race. If you ain't come to party, get the fuck up out my way. Hey, yeah, I'm pouring out the ace. 10 bad bitches and they all throwing cake. Hey, bitch, I'm trying to race. Hey, bitch, I'm trying to race.
G-Hughes, you did this one.
I put that bitch like a bag. I'm tryna get all of that cash. Shawty, she wanna move fast.
So that little bitch start tripping, we gon' get the bag. Chanel on my back, she like living fast. She wanna fall with me cause we getting cash. I hit that bitch raw, did that and I passed. I did not learn shit in that motherfucking class. The stats, I put that bitch like a bag. Racks, I'm tryna get all of that cash. Shawty, she wanna move fast. That little bitch start tripping, we gon' get the bag. Chanel on my back, she like living fast. She wanna fall with me cause we getting cash. I hit that bitch raw, did that and I passed. I did not learn shit in that motherfucking class. The stats, I put that bitch like a bag. Racks, I'm tryna get all of that cash. Shawty, she wanna move fast. That little bitch start tripping, we gon' get the bag. Get the bag, get the racks, get the cash, yeah. Hit that bitch with no condom, then dash, yeah. I'm tryna get bread, ain't have bread in the patch, yeah. Hit that boy with that Glock, burn his back, yeah. Hit that bitch with the stock of the Mac, yeah. Oh, he talking that cat, why you lack, yeah. Get the stacks, yeah. That's straight facts, yeah. She keep stressing, bluff this sweet and relax, yeah. What the funny pussy thinking? Just because I'm famous, they thinking that I don't keep a fucking stainless. I'm swinging that chopper, I leave that boy brain. I'm dangerous, my bitch, she bad and she be saying I'm saying my Glock is cock point at your brain. And you saying that niggas really on the game, but these niggas be pussy and they be false claim. I'm a beast in the streets, pussy boy, you can't slay. Why the fuck these pussy niggas on nigga? Fuck that slide, she back to the ball, nigga. I had to get cash, get this shit on my own, nigga. I ain't grown, but a nigga act grown, nigga. Fuck that bitch and I'm just dead and I'm cold, nigga. What the fuck these pussy boy think they on nigga? She like how I smell, she fuck with the cologne, nigga. He think that he really good, but he a clone, nigga. Chanel on my back, she like living fast.
The Morning Fix live radio show will begin shortly. For your best news coverage and commentary, tune in daily at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on The Morning Fix. The Morning Fix live radio show will begin shortly.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Fix live radio show. I'm your host, Macho. It is 10:04 Eastern Standard Time here in New York, October 17th. Wow, October 17th, 2022. It is 60 degrees and cloudy, disgusting, decrepit, crummy. It stinks in New York as always, and as usual. Yes, it's another day here in paradise in New York, right? Whatever. Anyways, let's get Keisha in here. What up?
Good
You
morning.
got to match my energy.
What up?
You got to be.
I'm just kidding.
You got to be
I'm
yelling,
just
screaming, hooting, hollering, like, hey, like that.
a. Oh, you got your mic
Yeah, I
fixed?
got
No,
another one.
actually,
I
I
had
don't.
another one I told you. Where
Okay.
there's
All
one,
right.
there's
Well,
two.
I'm waiting for my camera to just fall into my lap at this
Just
point.
from
I don't know
out
what's
of the
going on.
sky. Like, can you come here?
Yeah, it's having a moment this morning, but it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. It
Oh,
is what
is
it is.
that? Wait, what kind of shirt is that? Is that the Morning
The
Fix
morning
shirt?
fix.
Wow,
Yes,
look at that. I peeped the
yeah,
Morning Fix t-shirt. Hey.
that's right. My mug is around her. My broken mug, but it's around her
Well,
somewhere.
let's say good morning to everyone. Uh
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning, Christina. How are you? Good morning, Heather. We don't have our regulars today, unless it's like the Monday morning blues, and they're just kind of like, I'll stroll in. I'll
Um,
stroll in.
yeah, it looks like everyone's getting a late start, but they're probably used to us being on CPT time. So,
Mm. Yeah, not my fault, by the way.
mm, whatever, dude. I'm always on time. What are you talking about?
Always on time. I gave you my all. Now, okay,
No,
all right,
not this
all right.
morning.
So,
I'm not doing like J-Lo this morning, but thank you.
okay, that's not J Lo. Yes, it is J Lo.
Yeah, isn't it?
No, isn't that always on
Ashanti?
time? That's
Ashanti.
Ashanti. That's
Ashanti.
Ashanti.
Okay.
Ashanti. Yeah,
Okay.
step your game up. Step your game up. All
It's
right.
called old age.
How was your weekend? How was it?
The weekend was okay.
Why
You
just
know,
okay? What happened?
I think if you tend to stay off the clock app, it's a little bit better, but you know.
Oh, the toxic clock app. Oh, how much we love it.
But other than
Right?
that, it's good. I mean, you know, pretty uneventful. How was your weekend?
It was good. I mean, I checked out for a few and have to
Yeah,
move some things around the house. I'll be
ignored your
leaving.
friends' text messages.
Oh, wow. This is not the place to do some digs. We don't do
Oh,
digs here.
Okay.
Well, it's okay. I'll take it. I'm man enough.
Okay.
Make masculinity great again. Hello. All right.
What's
So
going on? All right.
I will
Let's get it
say I
poppin'.
moved some stuff around, try to, get things out of the house, whatever. But there was a lot of things to look at of what was going on over the weekend, and it was a doozy. I want to start off with this one right here, and I don't think this is happening by out of coincidence. I'm sure there are opportunists out there like actors and actresses that are like going to step up because now, okay, Tulsi Gabbard, or whatever the case may be. But Rob Schneider on Fox
Mm-hmm.
and Friends Morning came out and said he's tired of the Democrat Party. Here's a bit of that.
It's good to be across the street. What's your reaction to Tulsi Gabbard doing what she did yesterday?
It shouldn't be such a shock. We don't get 10 parties. You get two. You know?
Right.
And I really feel I don't want
Disconnected.
the Democratic Party trying to run my life. And there's not one aspect of your life that they don't want to interfere with. So
Ooh, ooh.
That part.
Do you smell
That part.
cancellation? Do you smell it?
That part.
Do you smell the freedom of like, fuck being canceled? I don't care. I'm tired of you trying to run every part of my life.
That part.
Right. That's all we got today? That's all we got?
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. For right now.
sure.
He's speaking so many facts. I'm
What what do we got?
Mm.
All right. Okay. Let's get back to it.
Let's
had
get
it with
into
them.
it.
So I got out of California. I moved to the slightly freer state of Arizona.
Slightly. Your journey is similar, though. You were a Democrat, and
Yeah.
Is that accurate? A slightly freer state?
Yes, that is accurate. A lot of people from California have moved to Arizona, so it's kind of made it purple, where it used to be super fire red.
Ah, got it. Okay, it used to be hemoglobin red. Got it.
Yes.
You have to be in San Francisco.
Of course. So
It's a given.
Yeah.
what was it that changed your point of view?
Well, I mean, literally, there wasn't, taxes. There wasn't one part of business. I mean, Newsom pushed me over the edge.
Right.
I mean, it's just like, I just don't think your life gets better there. It gets worse. I mean, you know what it was? It was like, there was, in San Francisco, they said, you had to remove, I was living in San Francisco. I had it made there. It was like, it's on the cable car and everything. I had a rooftop. This is the place where I'm going to live forever. And they said, you have to have the toilets removed from your house. And I said, what? What? I don't have toilets in front of my house. It was flower pots.
Right.
They made me remove all the flower pots. So it just got crazier and crazier. And maybe I'm looking at this all wrong. San Francisco either has a huge homeless problem or a gigantic camping success story.
It depends on the agenda, right?
Right.
I think that's all that really boils down to. We were talking about this with Chris on TikTok, that he said that in some areas in California, it's illegal to feed the homeless. In El Calhoun.
Yes. Because they don't want them getting sick, you know. They don't want the
And
city
they don't,
getting sick.
apparently, they don't want the spread of hepatitis A, which affects the liver. It could be transmissible through saliva, food, and blood, and all that stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah. You can't even feed the homeless now. So, how are you going to address the problem in which you created, Gavin Newsom? So that's
Not a
what
problem. It's only a problem for us. It's not a problem for him.
and I would say, in my opinion, not a problem for a guy like Rob Schneider, right? Because he can just move. He has the money and the capability.
And that's what he did. He moved.
But what about the disproportionate, effects to the community? I'm gonna just say it arbitrarily. The community can't just up and leave, Keisha. Come on, have some sensitivity this morning.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. There you go.
There's my
Why did you want to be so bold and so vocal about it? Because Tulsi said, if you don't agree with the Democratic Party, you're trashed, you're canceled.
Yes. So absolutely. She's right.
Do you worry about that, getting jobs?
Yes, of course you are. Yeah. As an actor, you're always coming from a place of trying to get work. But at a certain point, you have to worry about, I'm in my 50s now, late 50s. It's going to catch you too, Brian. But, no, yeah, I worry more about, the freedoms of my kids.
Yeah.
I'm a grandfather now.
Right.
And so, I do at a certain point, you have to put, it's really weird. Well, something's wrong when people say, if you put God and family and country first, that's somehow controversial.
Right.
How is that controversial?
Or a flag is triggering.
Yeah. So
Right.
I think at a certain point you have to say enough of this and stand up to it.
Did you lose friends?
Wait, oh,
I would say people that don't return my calls as often. But to be honest with you, a lot of people that I'm friends with in Hollywood, they lean towards the right, but they're just scared.
whoa. A lot of my friends that I'm friends with in Hollywood lean towards the right.
Mhm.
And I think this is starting to happen a lot more, Keisha, because guys like Dennis Prager and PragerU are hosting a slew of different celebrities privately and locally, right? In their channel, just saying,
Yes.
what happened? I left this. Oh, what's going on in Hollywood? Kevin Sorbo, the famous Hercules, right?
Yeah.
Has sat down. He's a staunch conservative. He's been a conservative for decades. He's been very vocal about that. And we have that Christian guy. I forgot the guy's name. Anyways, he does all these Christian weird cheesy movies like the Armageddon movies.
Oh, Kirk Cameron?
Kirk Cameron, a staunch conservative as well. These folks have been speaking out for a while, and I'm starting to think that now the water went from a cold chloric pool, like chlorinic pool, to now a jacuzzi, where it's now warm on this side, and now it's cute and becoming more. I can do this now and probably not lose a movie deal.
Well,
Or am I
I
being too
I think it's
cynical?
more about they don't care anymore. It's gotten so far out of control that you can't hide it anymore. So it's just like, whatever. It is what it is. I'm not going to continue to ignore my own morals and beliefs just because of money. They're starting to figure it out.
Facts.
So
They,
Christina feels like VIP because no one's here.
there isn't anyone here, and it's all right. It doesn't matter because the show must still go
We'll go
on.
on.
Right? We don't give up because there's no one here. We act like there's a million people in here, the same way we would act if there's 0 people in here, right, Keisha? Because we're
That's
a
right.
party all
I don't
by
care.
ourselves. We have a great time here on the Morning Fix. Soon
Yes, we
I
do.
actually have something I want to put out to the chat, though. All right, Keisha and I want to be able to be more diverse and move around in different time slots. So I asked some questions on the Telegram. I said, would it be best if we aired on a different time? I got a few people, Keisha, that said yes. They would be able to participate. Now, I'm being cynical on purpose. I don't buy it, but okay.
I mean,
But because of that, I got an idea. And I want to
okay.
expand the channel by not just being this time, but also we'll have some evening times where we would go live. And we won't probably go live for 2 hours, but maybe for an hour. I'm not sure, but it may not be every day. But just to be able to give you guys a bit of the fix, there will be probably a evening broadcast. And we are going to take a poll today on the chat. We got a few people here now. You guys decide. Would you tune in to an evening aired episode or a show here? Yes or no? Just put that in the chat.
Oh, look, someone said they'd be down for an evening show.
Evening fix.
The evening
We
fix.
haven't come up with a name for it yet, but somewhere around the
Oh, look
vicinity
it.
of
They're saying
fix.
yes.
All right, we got 3 yeses so far.
4
Where's
yeses.
the
4.
4th? I see 3. Okay.
The one below.
Aye.
Oh, look, there's the 5. The one that says I'd be down for an evening.
Oh, thank you. I didn't see that. So that's
Yeah.
6. That's 7.
Yeah.
And I believe we
forward.
have 9 people in here. So unanimous
Forward.
decision. We will
Forward.
have, that settles it. We will have an evening show. We haven't decided what it would be called, and the yeses are flowing in. We haven't
right.
decided what it would be called, but we'll figure something out and we'll get that going. But I wanted to throw it into the universe that we are going to start having more shows for you. So
Oh, that's so sweet. I follow you. Follow you wherever you may go. I love it.
thank you, Heather.
I love it.
Appreciate it. Dinner fix, Katie. That's awesome.
It actually kind of has a little ring to it. Dinner fix.
Dinner fix. Huh? Come on. It's
Oh,
better
look.
than a broken marriage because of TikTok.
Ooh. Good morning.
I'm just saying, we see a lot of this stuff going on. Trust me, folks. TikTok is toxic. Be careful. And you can't blame solely just the app, right? We can't just blame the app. But there's something about the app that it expedites it, right? The access to people. This is not like AOL. This is not like what was the other chats we grew up with? Yahoo.
Yeah.
We grew up with well, I
But
mean, you were a little
you
bit
know what?
before me.
TikTok is like Kick. The app Kick.
Remind me what Kick is. Oh, ICQ.
KIK. It's like a chat app, and you can make groups and mod. The only difference is it's just like pictures and videos like within the chat. So people just come in and you just chat, and then and then you could put like videos and stuff within the chat. It's not like videos. It's like a constant live with no live feed. Does that make sense? It's just a ongoing chat.
Yeah.
And people play games and stuff like that, and people interact with it. It's actually pretty cool. I mean, but I've seen some pretty risque stuff. But a lot of relationships are screwed up from there.
From that Kick.
Oh, isn't that what Discord is? Kind of. Yes, kind of like Discord. Exactly. Yeah, but I think it's a Kick is a little bit. It's a little easier to function and use through, but it's the same type of concept. You create a group, you invite people into your group, and then you could do whatever you want in your group. And I mean all kinds of X-rated craziness goes on in those things. So
And so again, so we cannot solely blame the platform, in my opinion.
well, no,
But
you can't.
the
I mean,
platform
the
reveals
temptation is
something about
everywhere, right? The temptation's
yeah.
everywhere. So if you put people in a space of they're hungry and you can feed them nonstop, it's like a buffet of, food, they will
Yeah.
eat. And that's what it's turned into.
Just sitting in temptation for
Well,
hours on end is what you're
no,
saying.
it's sitting in weakness for hours on end. So if you if you are insecure, I feel like the app really feeds that because it gives you the sense of purpose and the sense of people want me when really it's all just fake. If you look at it, most of the people who are immersed in the nonsense aren't healthy, right? There's something else going on.
TikTok is a buffet of
Yes,
dysfunction.
absolutely.
Again, it's just the revelation of what you do when you have opportunity of weakness, of opportunity of being able to have a buffet of just decisions and there was something that you said to me that really rang in my head that people on the app is just going to show you what they want you to see, right?
Yes.
How I want you to, I'm going to unveil myself to you the way I want to be unveiled. I'm going to look very appetizing. I'm going to look, it's all about appearance, it's all about the
Yes.
optics. And
Hmm.
then someone dives into that and, leaves their whole family. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of that? How many families? So there was a famous one. The famous Demilo, whatever her name is. Anyways, or it was one of those TikTok famous people that
Uh-huh.
the husband, the mother, the father and mother of this famous TikTok person, the father decides to leave the mother for some other TikToker, started cheating on the mother, whatever.
Oh,
Anyway, so it was
I
like
don't know
this
about
whole
that.
debacle that actually blew up their channel.
Yeah.
And that's how they got
The drama.
millions and millions of followers. So that's where I would say it's hand in hand. The person and the app is toxic because the
Yeah.
app is rewarding this behavior in a
Well,
sense.
I mean, but if you scroll TikTok enough, you'll come across drama that you didn't know existed about this person is now with the other person's husband or wife, and they were swingers, or they were this, or they were that. It's just madness. The whole thing is just madness, and it gives people a false sense of security in their mouth. That's what TikTok does. So, they make videos and they think that their opinion really matters when no one cares. It means nothing. I wish everyone that was doing it was walking around perfect, and seamless, but they're not.
No,
I feel like it's always the people with the most bullshit that is the ones trying to call people out.
but the app is
But it's good.
rewarding this behavior as well. It's not like, oh, no, forget it, right?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I heard a girl on a live yesterday said the reason why she goes into these lives with drama is because she's nosy and she likes the tea.
Oh, but I'm not gonna lie though, I like the tea too.
Who gives a fuck? These people are nobody. Like, why do I care?
But you get to you ever seen those little
No,
TikTok
no, no, no,
videos?
no, 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 no. Why do we care? Like, I don't care
But
about
you ever
celebrities. Why
about
do I
celebrity?
care?
I'm talking about like you ever look out your window because somebody's yelling at the other person, they're having an argument,
No,
like you cheated on me
I
with
look.
so and so.
No, I look out the window to make sure they're not doing something stupid. Other than that, I don't really care that she slept with the neighbor. Like, we knew that already. We saw her going in and out of the house. No one cares. Like, honestly, like, I
Oh
just
boy.
don't care. Like, it's just not entertaining. If I wanna watch that, I can just go on reality TV and watch all these fools, frolic around and
But
flop
it's
around
right in
like fish
front of
out of
you. It's
water.
right there. These are the people you get to talk
Who
to.
cares?
All right,
Like, who
all right,
cares?
all right.
It's like wasted energy. It's like, "Ooh, did you see? Oh my god, look at John and Mary out there. Oh my god, she's sleeping with the oh, wow."
Facts. Yeah. Yeah. I can't
Stupid.
tell you how many times, like a grandpa, I'm outside my window, like, oh,
Of course, of course. You know why you don't have a life. You read a book.
what's going on there? Oh, somebody ripped out a weave, threw the weave in the street. I seen
Hola,
my next door
Cristina.
neighbor rip homegirl's weave out and threw it under a car somewhere. I was like, oh,
Wow.
the weave has
She
been.
deserved to be beat up just for, like, ripping out that expensive hair. She deserved that ass whooping.
Damn, that's
She shouldn't be
crazy.
doing that.
That's crazy.
But
Anyways,
anyway.
here's another actor. We'll get back to more TikTok drama as the show goes on.
I like to watch the drama from the comments.
Facts.
Oh my god.
Me
Oh, you
too.
guys need counseling. What am I gonna do with you
Excuse
guys?
you. This is great because the focus is not on me. That's why I like watching other people's drama. Anyways, here's Mark Wahlberg speaking on I guess
Hey,
someone in
Mandy.
Fox
Hey,
about
Blue.
life in California. Here's a bit of that clip there.
If you notice, they're all leaving California.
That's right. Here it is.
Mark Wahlberg joins the growing list of celebrities who have left Los Angeles in recent years, including Katy Perry, Matthew McConaughey, and Chris Hemsworth. Now, Wahlberg and his family will call Nevada home. Here's why.
See ya.
Moved to California many years ago to pursue acting, and I've only made a couple of movies in the entire time that I was there. So to be able to give my kids a better life and follow and pursue their dreams, whether it be my daughter as an equestrian, my son as a basketball player, my youngest son as a golfer, this made a lot more sense for us.
To give my kids a better life, he said, Pete.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, Hollywood, it's like education. The higher education has a cartel.
So it's not looking good for California.
No.
That's pretty much what it looks like here, right?
Well, and you have to understand, you see, he moved to Nevada, no state tax.
Oh yeah.
So it's a financial thing too, right? So they recognize that it's out of control there. But I mean, they keep re-electing that fool, so they must love it. I think when the
Facts.
Kardashians leave, everyone will run away.
I think so. Good morning, Glow. Good morning.
you guys. Good morning.
Mandy, good morning. We got Pamela in here. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the Morning Fix live radio show. If you're just tuned in, we're just having a casual conversation. Some of these famous rich people that have money, they can do whatever they want. They're leaving California, in which they wanted you to vote for the very people as to why they're leaving. That's the biggest okie doke of them all. Because now they're all running to the altar. I call it the political altar. And saying, I'm leaving because it's too much and I can't take it. You didn't think about that before? Your handlers before didn't tell you, hey, listen, Rob, Mark, taxes going to be ramped up. Yeah. We need Biden in office. So these are the people
paid to say that.
Paid to say what?
Vote for Biden.
Yeah, vote for
because all the celebrities that said it, like I just find it hard to believe that they've had. But I mean, you know what? Like, let's just be honest. That we're seeing more and more people have a change of heart because they're just seeing the madness unfold, and it's not getting any better. And there's no resolve, and there's no plan. People are just all over the place. So it's not shocking or surprising. I mean, Hollywood is fickle.
Very fickle, and and it's bought and paid for, right?
Yeah,
that's just pure and simple. They're not doing anything off the cuff.
No,
right? They're not doing anything off the arm. Like, don't worry, I got you. This is for their benefit. And we always knew that. We've been talking about this for quite some time. But of course, people don't listen. But hey, it's all right. No one of sober mind is going to tell you to vote Joe Biden. But hey, since they did, I bet you, and I would support any conservative and Republican to say vote Herschel Walker. Because if they can sit there, pay everybody and their mother to say, hey, vote Joe Biden, the babbling buffoon and the laughing hyena, then God, I think we have an open lane for a guy like Herschel Walker, right?
Sure.
I got some quick highlights for you guys from that debate because we're about to cover that. Let's check that out.
Each question. If there's a follow-up or rebuttal, you will have 30. You'll hear this bell. Each candidate will also have 60 seconds for...
Born and raised in Wrightsville, Georgia. My parents taught me about faith, family, education, and the love of country. They also taught me about a good work ethic. And
gratitude. Probably because I grew up about a mile from here in the Caton Homes housing projects. I'm Calvin Lacoste, of prescription drugs for people like my 84-year-old mother.
No,
I don't think they should. I don't think she should have to choose.
Walker, let's let him talk.
Yes.
You'll get a second.
President Biden defeat former President Donald Trump in 2020. Again, sir, you have 60 seconds.
Well, first of all, I need to mention that he said that SB 202, really it made it easier to vote and harder to cheat. And she mentioned that more people turned out for the primary. So you gotten good at in Washington not answering that question, because that was the question she asked you. And did President Biden win?
That is the question.
President Biden won and Senator Warnock won. That's the reason I decided to run. Because we need a change in Washington. We need leaders that's going to stand up to foreign leaders. We need people that's going to stand up for people in Georgia.
Yeah, there it is. That was highlights of the debate for Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker. And there was some, everybody's all hung up on this this whole thing of him flashing his badge. But we'll get to that. We're gonna cover that. I just want to get the entirety of this clip here of that. Where did I put it? For some reason I don't have it. I don't have it. Did you take it? You took the clip. You got the clip.
Yeah, this morning making coffee, I stole it.
You said, nope, I'm taking the clip.
Delete.
I have it. It's just somewhere around here. I got to fire the producer. The producer needs to be fired ASAP.
Yeah, we probably should call him in for a meeting.
All right, so let's start with the opening statements here. Let's look at, I like to look at a lot of this stuff to dissect a lot of this stuff. So let's take a look at this stuff here. Let's go here. We got it. I got it. See, it's just like that. A few clicks away. We're there. There's no need to panic, Keisha.
I'm not panicking, actually.
All right. Let's dissect this. Let's look at it.
You will have 30 seconds. When time's up, you'll hear this bell. Each candidate will also have 60 seconds for a closing statement. And with that, it is time to get underway. Tina and Buck, the floor is yours.
Leland, thank you very much, Senator Warnock. Mr.
First off, I have to say I hate this format.
Why?
I do not like debates in this format.
Okay.
What do you mean what? What do you mean why? What?
I mean, hate's a strong word.
I don't like it because it doesn't allow for organic conversation, and it doesn't allow for let it go off the rails. I'm okay with it going off the rails. Your job as the moderator, after 5 minutes or so, bring it back. But instead, they have to steer it so much to say, no, we're running out of time. Running out of what time? Not the people's time. The people want to see how these boys act, how these men and women act.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. They're just trying to keep structure.
All right. I don't want structure. All right.
I see.
Walker, good evening to you both. We appreciate you being here, and we look forward to hearing from you both tonight. And for those of you at home that are following along, we'd like for you to use the hashtag GASEN debate. Once again, it's hashtag GASEN debate.
Good to see you as well, gentlemen. We began tonight with opening statements. A card draw determined who will go first. Mr. Walker, we will begin with you. You have 60 seconds.
Let's go.
First, I'd like to acknowledge my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh.
I'm one of 7 kids, born and raised in Wrightsville, Georgia. My parents taught me about faith, family, education, and the love of country. They also taught me about a good work ethic. And because of that, I found the America's dream. But this race ain't about me. It's about what Raphael Warnock and Joe Biden had done to you and your family. Tonight, he's going to try to sweet talk you that he's doing a good job, but his record speaks for itself. I'm here to tell you that they've raised your taxes, gave you high inflation. They even put men and women's sports. And I want to let you know that Raphael Warnock, we give him 6 more years, think what he's going to do. So I'm here to fix it.
Mr. Walker, thank you.
Yeah.
Senator Warnock, we turn now to you.
That could have been worse,
It wasn't good, but okay.
It was far from good.
For your opening statement, you have 60 seconds.
Let's see.
Well, thank you so very much, and hello, Georgia. It's so wonderful to be back here in my hometown. Now, I know that we're in a debate tonight, but really I come with a deep heart filled with gratitude Probably because I grew up about a mile from here in the Caton Homes housing projects. I'm one of 12 children in my family, clearly.
So if you grew up in the Democrat District 9, I already have questions for you. See, this is not a referendum on Herschel Walker. This is everything about the Democrat Party and why this man who grew up in the projects is in the Democrat Party. The reason why there is projects in this country is because of the Democrat Party.
Yep.
I want to make it very clear to everybody. Let me put this up on the big screen. I've looked into this through and through. Don't get it twisted about the fusion candidate, Mr. LaGuardia, the mayor of New York City in 1935, 1937, who had the visionary idea to create NYCHA, New York City Housing Projects, the Housing Authority, which then led the way for the entire country to create what? The projects. Get it twisted when you hear fusion candidate and saying, well, he was a Democrat plus he was also Republican. No, he was a Democrat. He was a fusion new, what was it? The kind of politician that was all about the Great Society. It was all about the not the Great Society. It was the different FDR. He was all about the FDR policy. He was all about that vision. He got behind that. He was a socialist, and he believed that this would have helped a lot of people from the lower income status. However, though, here's where I would say the flaw happened. It was going well until they stopped having the criteria. Once they took away the criteria for living in these housing projects, all hell went loose. Now we're just taking people in at whatever. Oh, we can't discriminate. Take them all in. Nope, we can't discriminate against black people. Take them in. And now there is no set criteria. You can thank the Democrat Party for creating that environment. So this is what confuses me about Mr. Warnock, because you're running as a Democrat. You've been a Democrat. You support the Democrat Party, and you came from the very place that you have now this gratitude to say, I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm standing here. I'm glad I'm representing this place. To do what? To keep them in the same place that they are?
It
makes sense.
It does.
The Bible, be fruitful and multiply. When I think about the arc of my life, the short distance and the long distance from there to here, I know that only in America is my story.
It was the New Deal visionary. That's what it was. The Great New Deal.
Yes.
My family taught me the importance of hard work and how to build the beloved community that Dr. King used to talk about, and I brought that spirit to the Senate. At the end of the day, this race is about who's ready to represent Georgia in the U.S. Senate. I think that choice is clear.
Sure. Represent Georgia in the New York Senate, in the Senate, federal Senate. Sure. Yeah, the Reduction Act. What was it? The Inflation Reduction Act. Oh yeah, because it's going to bring the cost of medication down.
Yes, for his 84-year-old mother.
For his 84-year-old mother, and this guy wants to stop that. The Wall Street Journal wrote an article about that whenever government gets involved in the pharmaceutical is going to create what is called a generic brand. And all the government's going to do is have a total monopoly on that generic brand. They will not have monopoly over the privatized brands. Or what the government will do is say, well, you can't sell all those other brands, just the brand we want you to sell, and you have to sell it at this particular price. The problem is that pharmaceutical company is not going to just take it at a discounted price. The way the government's going to do it is they're going to sell it to you, package it to you to a cheaper price, and inflate it on the back end, which is through your taxes.
Correct.
So it's going to be like we're all paying a copay for drugs in which not all of us are going to be using. So we're all going to be paying for a copay for drugs that they're telling us is cheaper. What the difference between what this administration is doing, what Donald Trump was doing, was he says, I want to go as low as the country who pays the lowest amount of money for this specific drug. Where in the world pays the least amount of money for this specific drug? I want it sold here. That's called a competitive approach.
Correct.
What Joe Biden's doing is a more marketable government control approach to keeping the price down. It's called a ceiling, saying no, you can't price it more than this. Well, how are they going to pay for this drug in which they got to produce because they can't produce any other competitive drugs? Well, in order for it to stay at that price, they're going to tax us higher. Duh.
Right.
Where's the inflation's not going to go down? We're just going to still get hurt.
The
That's the
Bailey
lie.
Prickster. Is that what that says?
The Bailey
Debate?
Prickster?
Yeah. Someone said, I really hope you cover the debate.
Oh, the Bailey Prickster debate. Yeah, we'll get into it. We got after this debate, we have Sports Hour, and then when we come back, I don't know if Keisha will be back with me, but
I won't be.
Either way. All right, so I'll be back here to cover the Marjorie Greene Taylor and Marcus Flowers debate.
Oh,
But we got a lot of things to cover.
right. Oh, so you're gonna go 3 hours?
Yes.
I might be able to come back then. It just won't be from here. I'll just do it from my office.
Ooh, okay, from the basement.
Yeah. I mean, it won't be as sharp as it is here, my sound quality, but I'll put my earbuds in. That'll help.
All right, they get to the point of who is responsible for inflation. Here we go.
We're giving our energy up to our enemies that don't like us. We have to be ready for war. This is not a playground. So we have to be ready for war right now.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Senator Warnock.
And you
since
can
President
thank Joe
Biden's
Biden
taken
for
office,
that.
Inflation has reached levels.
Why we have to be ready for war? Thank Joe Biden for that. And not getting in the middle and de-escalating the issue between Ukraine and Russia. When you are
just keep throwing
pumping
money
in,
at it.
yeah, when you keep pumping millions and billions of dollars against a foreign adversary, that adversary is not going to forget that. That's number one. You have other countries who are seeing this. That's number two. And you have other countries who have grievances towards you. Number three. And they're going to go, well, we want in. You're attacking them. Now we're going to align. We don't care about Russia, but we're going to align with them now because we don't like what's going on, period. So you got Saudi Arabia not happy with what's going on here. That's why they're cutting the fuel supply, which is why we're going towards this green energy because time is running out. Time is running out, and they're not going to be able to get the foreign oil import. So because they're not going to get that, now they got to strong arm the economy because, hey, if they're going to cut us off, what is the other way that we can be able to still sustain and self-sufficient energy movement? Oh, Donald Trump also had the answer to that. Have the domestic production. Drill, baby, drill, and drill more here. But instead, no, that's not good for the environment. And, I have purple hair and I eat broccoli for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And,
Oh, my. Oh,
there you go.
Wow. Okay.
We haven't seen in 40 years. You've supported nearly every piece of legislation that this administration has pushed through Congress. Do you take any responsibility for the financial hardships currently that Georgians are facing? And you have 60 seconds.
There's no question that people are feeling pain at the grocery store, at the pump, at pharmacy counters. And while we are paying record prices, a lot of our corporate actors are seeing record profits in the oil and gas industry and the pharmaceutical industry, which is why I've stood up for ordinary, hardworking Georgia families time and time again. I passed the single largest tax cut, contrary to what my opponent is suggesting, for middle and working class families in American history. And we passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which had two of my provisions. One, caps the cost of prescription drugs for seniors.
Just explain that.
So they don't have to choose between buying medicine and buying groceries.
That's all
One
he's got.
caps the cost of insulin. He said he...
And I love the way Walker responds to this because, again, it's not the fact that he's not sharp, Keisha, which he's not. He's not a great speaker at all. He's actually pretty terrible. He lulls people to sleep. But Raphael Warnock is not a better speaker. He just knows that I just got to be better than this guy. That's all.
No, well, he's a little bit more polished because he's been doing it for a little while. So if you notice, he talks in a circle. He repeats himself in three different ways.
He's more compassionate. He's more engaging to the crowd. Like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Hello.
You see his hands. He's got the hand.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He's so elegant. He's like making love as he's talking, right?
I rebuke you, Satan.
I
Go.
rebuke.
He would not have voted for the Inflation Reduction Act, and I think he should tell the people of Georgia why he thinks they should have expensive insulin and why the pharmaceutical companies should be able to charge us whatever they like.
Well, first of all, may I respond? I believe in reducing insulin, but at the same time, you got to eat right, because he may not know, and I know many people that's on insulin, and unless you have eating right, insulin is doing you no good. So you have to get food prices down, and you got to get gas down so they can go get insulin. And you can.
So this is what I'm talking about, it being such a great response. And this is why I believe that people will see this and go, well, no, it sounds better with Warnock. Sure. No, but this was a great fundamental response. This was like, all you have to do is eat better, which we all know based on Eric Adams' story, the mayor here, he was diagnosed with diabetes. And how did he combat that? Well, he changed his diet. Guys, just look up the story. He changed his diet, lost a ton of weight, all of a sudden brought the diabetic sugars down, brought the insulin levels down into a check and balance to the point where he doesn't need insulin no more. Walmart's solution is to depend on medicine long term, while Walker's solution is to say, no, it's temporary until you do the right things. Well, you can't eat right because
Correct.
you can't get in your car and drive on a frequent level to go to the farmer's market. Go here. Why? Because you got to break the bank to fill your tank.
Correct.
I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, I don't know if we just that simple minded, Keisha. What do you think?
No, we're simple minded. But as you can see, they focus on making it seem like they're doing you a favor by reducing insulin. So what about those of us who don't have diabetes?
We just pay for it.
I mean,
how selfish are you? We pay for
no. The problem is, think about it like this, right? Pharmaceuticals can whatever they want. So until there's a generic, it's off the charts for a medication, and then every doctor is prescribing that medication.
Right.
So this new pill releases for hair growth. We'll just use that. And then that first year before a generic can be made, it's off the charts. And then they're telling you, oh, your insurance doesn't cover it, but you need it, right? So I think that that's the bigger problem here, right? Like, why can an insurance company determine that this medication that's highly used on the market, whether or not they'll cover it? That right there is another
because of
problem.
government interference and government regulation.
Oh yeah.
That's
part.
the
Okay.
issue. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. That's
Thank you.
Warnock's solution, folks. All right, let's continue.
Continue to pat yourself on the back, but right now, families are starving. Right now, families are hurting, and they're hurting because of the bills and the laws you're passing right now.
Senator Warnock, I'll give you an opportunity for a
Listen,
rebuttal.
I meet people all the time in my church
Oh.
who are trying to manage their diabetes.
He brought it
there
up.
when they've gotten the news that they've got to get an amputation. And I think we're hearing from my opponent tonight that it's their fault that prices of insulin are being gouged.
Oh no. No, he didn't. No, he didn't go there.
He did.
No, he's not saying this. Okay. This is why you'll never win with these. Okay.
I don't think it's
And this
their
is why we
fault. I
shouldn't
think it's
watch
the
these
fault of
things,
Why not?
because it's annoying and
Yeah, I
irritating.
know.
these pharmaceutical companies. Insulin's been around 100 years. The patent was sold for $1. They're engaged in price gouging, and too many people in Washington think they work for the pharmaceutical companies. I work for the people of Georgia.
Well, he's in Washington.
Can I finish? I work for the people of
Yeah,
Georgia.
but you're in Washington.
And
You
that's
said
why I
you're
stand
in
up for them
Washington.
every
You're in
single
Washington,
day.
and you're the leader.
Mr.
You're
Walker,
in
let's
Washington, you're the
move
leader.
forward if we can. A follow-up question to you, Senator, in 30 seconds. Georgians need help right now. In your opinion,
Right.
is the answer another stimulus check?
They need help right now. So if what you have done that he have touted, he just agreed with that question, by the way. What you have done and touted to say, well, we passed this, we did this, but Georgians need help right now. Right. So what have you done to help Georgians? Which then echoes back to what Herschel Walker is saying. I'm here to do for the Georgians. You're here to do for Joe Biden in DC. So that's where the whole song and dance is happening right now, and that's where I just start to have issues. There was other discussions here that the whole thing that was revealed was people were getting evicted. The members of his church were getting evicted.
Yes.
Do you remember what exactly was said there, Keisha?
Oh, somebody even pointed it out in our comments. Why is him and his church evicting people for $28?
Yeah, for $28. Look at that. $28, $200, evicting people, just pushing them out, and so on and so forth. Let's see what they say about this election integrity here.
Fight for all of the things we care about. There is no question that SB 202 makes voting harder, and that is the intent. And the fact that many of our voters are overcoming this hardship doesn't undermine that reality. They've made it harder for folks to use the drop boxes. They've shortened the registration times. Folks are saying, you know, you shouldn't have to, you should be.
Why the hell do they get away with this stupid excuse? You know when it's time to vote. You know when you gotta be there to vote. You know where you gotta go. They create sign. I don't know if anyone's ever been to a voting place. I don't care if you're in rural area of Georgia. I don't care if you're in rural area of Stockton, California. I don't care where you're at. They are federal guidelines to where the time, place, and manner has to be illustrated, has to be publicized, has to be put on a website.
Correct.
So what in God's name are you talking about making it harder for vote? Every single person knows the time, place, and manner in which you are to vote. That's all they're trying to do. That's all they're trying to illustrate to you guys. And one side is arguing, no, they're making it harder for you to be able to vote. And to trigger you, they're not going to just say you, in generally speaking. They're going to say it's going to make it harder for Black people to vote. We know damn well, ever since certain laws have been passed, there has been more voting turnouts by the Black community in Georgia than in the history of this country. So much for making it harder for Black people to vote. The proof is not in the pudding, and we're tired of buying these lies. They're stupid, fundamentally.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Anything?
No. That was good. That was good.
Able to get food or water in a line. I think the question is more fundamental than that. Why are the lines so long in certain communities?
Oh, that's your
and not
argument.
others?
Why is it so long? Why don't you look at the population of the county, dum-dum? And if you have a large population in that county, and you say, hey, how come we don't have another poll open? Because this county doesn't generate enough taxes to keep that poll open.
That part.
Mm.
And that's not making it harder. You just need to stand your ass out there. If you really are serious, stand there.
That's
you
why
stand in
you
line to
take
ride a
the
roller
day
coaster at
off.
Magic Mountain.
That's why they pay you to say, hey, you got 4 hours to go vote. Or you take the day off. You have sick time, you have vacation time. People have these time. Don't make excuses, period. Because what you have to endure, trust me, the white person next to you has to endure it too.
Yep.
And so I just want to encourage Georgia voters to keep showing up. Don't let anybody take your voice.
There you
Don't
go.
let anybody take your vote.
Keep
Took too
getting
much
us to
get
win,
here,
baby.
And I'm honored to represent you in the United States Senate.
All right.
Senator Warnock, thank you. Mr. Walker, we move to you now. In 2020, Georgia became the epicenter for questions on voter fraud. We'd like to hear your thoughts in 60 seconds. Did President Biden defeat former President?
I'm sick. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Stop insulting our intelligence media.
I can't.
Stop insulting us.
I can't.
Here's how we know that there was something fundamentally wrong with 2020. The media won't let it go. They won't gloss over it. They have to hammer it down. Did they win? Did he win? Oh, you're a denier? Why do you feel so insecure? Why does it matter what I say? The guy is still in office. Joe Biden's our president. The Laughing Hyena's our vice president.
That part.
Raphael Warnock is our senator. We
part.
have Issaac, the dum-dum over there. He's our senator in Georgia. No matter what you want to ask, why do you care about what I think? And what I think doesn't change reality, does it?
No.
What if I say Joe Biden is not the president? Does that mean that we're going to wake up tomorrow and Joe Biden's not the president? Why are they so scared? Why are they so insecure?
Okay. When you
All
know
right.
something is true, the one thing you need to do is continue to pound it into people that it is not. So
Oh, we're gonna
that's why they
drill it.
will keep
We're gonna drill
asking.
it down.
Yes, they keep asking the same question. Do you believe he won? Does it matter if I believe he won? He's there. And when you answer that way, then what do they say? No, 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 no. Do you think these elections were rigged? The reason for that is because they want to continue to try and commit fraud. And they are seeing that people are questioning it. So if they think if they get enough people to say, no, no, look at he doesn't believe there was fraud. Oh, he doesn't believe there was fraud. Look at that. He doesn't believe there was fraud. The people will believe there wasn't fraud. We all know it was fraud.
Listen, this is why me and you wouldn't run for office because ask me that question.
Okay.
I'll just troll you. I'll troll you at that point. No, he didn't win. He robbed that seat. He robbed it. How did he rob it? He robbed it, baby. He robbed it. I got some receipts here. He paid so and so. He paid this man. He did this. Anything else? Oh, how could you say something like that? I said it. You got a problem with what I said? Take that up with the First Amendment.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick. And people buy this bullshit, Keisha. They sit there. And Republicans out there, historic Republicans out there be like, you can't question the election. Why not? Tell me why.
Question them all.
Why do Democrats get to get away with it and question it and say, oh, they're selected, not elected?
Well,
Why they get to do it?
First of all, you and I both know that they're on some bullshit and on some dumb shit, right? So ultimately, like at the end of the day, we know there was fraud. 81 people didn't vote for this fool.
81
Okay.
million. 81 million.
No,
81 million voted for Joe
81
Biden,
people-
they said.
81
81 million
didn't vote for
Joe
him.
Biden.
Okay.
81
And we see
million.
it. And they know it as well as we know it. And I think a lot of it is they want to continue to be able to gloss over the American people, right? So if you allow this to come out, there'll be so many things they'll never be able to get past us, right? So they're really literally trying to protect that at all costs.
Yeah.
Period.
I
mean,
would say
because it's bigger than the election, right? It's bigger than that. And this is probably the first time that we've really seen there's no way this could have happened. So
don't care.
they've exceeded the next level. So
I'm gonna say that I'll say this too. Do you think Donald Trump won the election? I don't know. I don't
know.
care. How about that? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't
mean,
think
the
Joe
whole
Biden
theory
won.
thing has
Hey,
been
how about we go this far? I don't think Obama won.
right.
Obama didn't win. Bush didn't win. Oh, Bill Clinton didn't win either. That's why you'll never see me run because I don't care. I got nothing to lose. I'm the kind of candidate I will never get endorsed because I got nothing to lose. You think I'm going to be over here? Well, you got to do for the best interest of the party, macho. Am I for the party or am I for the constituents? Because I don't give a damn about this damn party. I'll blow this damn thing up. And this is why people hate Marjorie Green Taylor.
Yeah.
You know why they hate her? Because she's going off her own shtick. And everybody's like, oh, why is she going off and saying the way she look? I don't agree with everything she says, but I'm actually glad she says what she thinks. And I don't care. This whole thing about, oh, well, Trump shouldn't say everything, he should have been a little bit more polished. I don't care. Because for 8 years, we kept saying the same thing. I'm tired of seeing politicians. I'm tired of the lies. As soon as you get a man who goes, oh, you did a terrible job. You're terrible. Yo, the media is lying. Oh, this, that. And going at it with these people straight and narrow. And the media crucifies the man. But this is what we wanted as a country. We wanted someone who's going to have balls. We wanted someone who's going to be crass. We wanted someone who's going to have that Teddy Roosevelt stick. And now here we got the guy, and the guy is like, no, he ain't good enough. He should have been a Democrat. Because I guarantee you, if Donald Trump was a Democrat, he would have been praised as the best president in this country. You know damn well of that.
I'm going to say this. It wasn't anything more than they couldn't handle someone who truly pushed back, who had no problem exposing you no matter who you were. And that's really what it came down to. He stands to unravel their very existence. He
Mm.
stands to expose every
Tell 'em.
dirty secret that they've held for umpteen years. So it
Got him.
wasn't about him being not a politician. It was about him being Donald Trump and not giving a damn. Because Donald Trump doesn't need your money. He doesn't need your endorsement. He doesn't need you to like him. He doesn't need shit. He's still going to build a golf course. People are still going to
Mhm.
show up at the golf course. He's still
Wearing the
gonna
red
make
hat.
money.
Yep.
Yeah, he's still going to make money. So
Yep.
when you put somebody in a position of power that already has power and has always had power, how are you going to control that?
You
How are you
can't.
going to control it?
You can't.
You can't. You can't. So it wasn't about Donald Trump being not a politician. It was about this man is literally exposing us and not caring. Like, he did not care. You could have took him out and he wouldn't have cared. He would have went out on his last breath telling on you. So
He went,
that's
I'm
why
snitching. I'm
Mhm.
snitching.
That's why they are doing everything in their power to silence him. And I'm telling you now, the fact that they can't should speak volumes. The fact that they can't take him down should tell you he's not lying.
Mhm.
It should tell you that. If he
Well,
was
I
caught
think, and I
Go ahead.
also think that they're doing it in an indirect, in around way, that the failure to do anything with this Mar-a-Lago stuff, the failure to impeach him, the failure to incriminate him, the failure of what the state attorney general in New York has been doing, the failures time after time that Democrats have been proving, only reveals one thing: more support for Donald Trump.
Yep.
So they're
Let's roll the
helping him
sports
rather
hour.
than hurting.
Look, let's roll the sports hour because we, you know.
We'll be back. We'll be back with politics, folks, but we're gonna get into some sports. We'll be right back. But first, let me see if this thank you works.
Okay.
I want to thank you for watching this. It doesn't work. For some reason, I don't know why it doesn't work. It's just glitchy. It's disgusting. I hate it. Anyways,
Did
let's
you
get into-
re-record it?
No, I tried to re-download it. And
Okay. We're moving.
all right, let's do
Commercial
sports
break.
hour. Hello and welcome to the Morning Fix. This is the Sports Hour, and I don't understand. I'm lost at words because if you'd asked me weeks ago, I would have never been able to tell you. Don't interrupt me. Don't. I would have never been able to tell you, anyone out there, that the Jets would be 4-2.
I can't.
I would have never been. I would have never been able to tell you that the Giants would be 5-4.
Why are we talking about them?
And I would never been able to tell you that Geno Substeaks over there
Oh God.
would be having the kind of success he has. I never would have been able to tell you that Sauce Gardner, yes, again, a guy named Sauce Gardner, is walking around in a Packers hat, trolling the entire Packers nation. I mean, it's incredible. Something to celebrate. I guess I can celebrate, AJ can celebrate, but the person who can't celebrate today is Keisha.
Yeah.
She can't celebrate today.
And you're right.
So
and hello to that newbie on YouTube. I just say that said, yo, I'm going to just acknowledge you.
And to my last point,
You have
I
no
would have
point.
never been able to say today that the San Diego Padres, for the first time in decades, makes it to the National League Championship Series in the Major League Baseball. Everyone had LA Dodgers pegged to win the World Series.
Yes.
And who trumps them? The team that was dominated by them the entire season. The LA Dodgers dominated the San Diego Padres, and the Padres go on not only to defeat the almost division-winning Mets, my team, for goodness sakes, but hey, at least I don't feel bad because they went on to defeat the Los Angeles Dodgers and are now soon defeat Prince's team, they're gonna defeat them. No, I'm just I don't know. Prince's team, the Phillies, the Fighting Phils, they call themselves. And that's my opening for this sports hour here. Let's get AJ in here.
Whack.
Don't come
Yep,
at me like
go
that.
to
Don't
the-
come at
to
me
the
like
viewer. Oh, Mr. Full Service. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
It's just a plethora of men.
We here. We are here.
We are here. What's up? What's
Oh
up?
my God. Is that AJ's face? Welcome back, AJ.
It looks shiny, looks good. You
I
look
may
sharp.
or may not, may I
We can't
may
hear
not have on some stage makeup so I don't look dead.
Okay.
You look exfoliated.
You look great. You look great. You look great.
All right.
Oh man.
All
Well, I
right.
don't feel
So
well, wait. I don't feel so bad leaving now. You have a whole team here this morning.
yeah, I feel good. I feel warm and cozy.
Yeah.
So
I
fuzzy.
mean, look, it leaves you men in the space of sports. You guys can tell
You know,
us
men need men, Keisha. Men need men too.
whatever.
All right.
Dude. But
What is-
okay, go ahead. Where we
What
start
is a
now?
man?
What is a woman, Glenn? What is a woman? All right. I have to do this because I was talking hella shit about Geno Substeaks, and I have to play the post game. Yes, AJ, I have to play the post game interview with Geno Steaks over there.
Oh,
Here he
Jesus.
is over here.
Roll
Go
it.
ahead, relish in your, you know.
Oh God.
I want to punch him in his face.
What a cornball. Turn it up.
It is turned up.
Be able to get that responding touchdown and then close things out with a few first downs late.
Man, it felt like one of those heavyweight fights, man. Division opponent, they know us, we know them. It was going back and forth. Their defense did a great job. But I feel like when we needed it the most, our guys stepped up. We were able to get like a 70, 75-yard drive against a really tough defense, score points, give us the lead, and you know, that's what we talk about, complementary football. You know, that's what it's all about. Everyone playing together. The defense played spectacular today, and that's what we're going to need moving forward, you know.
So wanted to play that little bit of a soundbite right there of Geno Substeaks. I still want to punch him in his face because he's nowhere near as good, especially with football management. He's doing a great job with managing the football, something that he's never been able to do in his career.
He has a good coach now.
Yeah, he has a good. Okay.
Oh God.
All right, AJ. Todd Bowles. I mean, good coach. Rex Ryan, good coach. By the way, just whatever.
Just because you're a good coach don't mean you have good chemistry.
Oh wow.
Maybe he works better with Pete Carroll than he did with those coaches.
Here we go. There we go. So the Eagles went on to defeat. What was the team they played? Not Eagles. Seahawks.
It was
excuse me.
Dallas. Oh, the Seahawks. Oh, they played the Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals.
It was a
Cardinals.
divisional game. It was a divisional game.
Yeah.
So we are now
Which-
third.
Which isn't surprising. I mean, we are talking about the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, they're not even worth
I don't
conversation.
even know
so,
what's going on with them right now.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's disgusting.
It's
They're
terrible.
not a good football team. We knew this. We knew this coming into the season. They're not a good football team. Not a lot of people are sold on this quarterback. I mean, the fans are all
They
like,
weren't
you
sold
have,
on him.
huh?
They weren't sold on him. The Cardinals.
And they-
I mean,
so why
yeah,
give him
yeah.
the contract? So why give him all of that money?
That's the $1 million question right there. Why the hell would you hand this man all this money and then you know he's not going to produce for you? Make it make sense.
Look at Glenn's
Had the same
face.
conversation about Dak.
I'm just
Whoa.
I'm just having
Dak is a
I'm
good
just having a
quarterback.
thought over here, Keisha, because
Oh.
I came on here because I need an apology. Because
This is
a couple shows ago,
oh Lord,
y'all
here we go.
asked who was our predictors for making the playoffs, and
Uh-oh.
I had mentioned the New York Jets
Uh-oh.
in that, and I was laughed at.
Yeah, and
And the
you
Philadelphia
should have
Eagles,
been.
and I was
You should
and I
have.
was
Whoa, hold
laughed
on.
at.
Whoa. Glenn, you should have been laughed at.
Okay.
Tell
So
me.
this. Wait a minute. No.
I need
Pause.
y'all to refer to me from now on as Negro Damas.
Whoa.
That's right.
Name to me, aside from the quarterback,
Oh my
name
God.
to me one big name on the Jets right now. Name to me one big name that will say,
The
yeah, we're
biggest
going to
name
make
on the
it.
Jets is called
Robert
chemistry.
Saleh. Robert Saleh.
Okay, can I just say this? Glenn has not been here for one sports hour, and the moment that he enters the building, he come in looking for accolades. If he don't sit down,
You daggone right.
The biggest name that Glenn, just want to repeat here, the biggest name on the Jets is that Glenn has referred to, his name is chemistry. Sure. Sure. The same chemistry.
Well, wait a minute. You don't need a superstar to win football games.
No.
well, you should
If you
know.
want to
over
make
there
it deep in the
Seattle.
playoffs, you do.
I caught that, Keisha. I caught that.
Wait, what did Keisha say? I didn't even hear it.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Did not hear it. Did not hear it.
It's not working for Denver right now, but whatever.
Okay.
But you said to give it time, so we're gonna give it time. I think
I'm
Tom
not giving
Brady's
it
gonna
shit.
need the time.
What it is showing me is that AJ's quarterback may not be everything that we thought he was.
He is everything, and I still believe in Russ. I trust, and then you just gotta get all the things around him working, and then it's just trying to get the right balance. It's like trying to find the right recipe, trying to get it together, and I believe they're going to get it together.
Okay,
Is
because
that
I
gonna be the next
support my
hashtag
friend,
in
I'm
Russ
going to go with
Trust?
that.
That what?
Is that going to be the new hashtag in Russ We Trust?
In Russ, we trust.
No, in Russ AJ trust. I don't trust in that fool. He ain't showed
AJ
nothing.
trust.
Let's be
AJ
clear.
trust
Don't be
and
putting
Geno.
us. No, AJ.
Geno
and
Smith
AJ.
is who AJ trusts.
I trust
Geno
Geno,
Smith.
and then what's Geno doing right now? Balling.
He's winning.
He is
said
winning.
No, he's not.
What
just
did he
winning,
say?
He's balling.
They said they try to call me out, but I didn't answer. What did he say? I didn't answer.
Oh yeah, they tried to write me off, but I didn't write back.
AJ be like, he goes here with it. He goes like here. But okay. I mean, he playing. I mean, he did play well against the, what was the name of that no-name team? Oh yeah, the Arizona Cardinals. So I mean,
But it was a divisional game.
Prince, you missed my opening, by the way, Prince. I gave a shout out to your fighting Phils. You guys could enjoy this for now, and you might even make it to the World Series because the way it's looking for the Philadelphia Phillies, they might make it. But I don't think either team is going to beat the Astros. But then again,
why are we jumping sport?
I'm just talking shit to Prince. I'm sorry.
Hold on. First of all, I don't like the way Prince said that. Black man named Geno is leading your. I'm a black man named Glenn. Like, you don't get street cred for these things. Doesn't mean you can't be the head of a football team, sir.
Oh.
All right, so we have Tom Brady in having this issue on the sidelines. Let's take a look into the.
Here we go. Things that you need to see from Pickett.
Get him, Tom.
And here's not a little thing, because it's Tom Brady coaching up the offensive line, extolling them passionately.
Extolling them, yeah. Extolling them, yeah,
Celebrating
sure.
his former boss's wedding.
Well, shoot, the man that just got sacked, twice? They lucky he didn't break another tablet.
Oh,
yeah. Extolling them, yeah. He's telling every curse word in the world. He's like, you guys better motherfucking block, because if you don't block for me, all y'all getting cut. You don't think I'm playing around. You think I'm too old to cut your ass. I cut your ass. I cut
Guess
you.
what?
See, that's my leadership style. So I'm all in. Go ahead. I will cut you up.
Look.
Fuck
Y'all
your
gonna be working at a sweatshop in
Facts.
Staten Island.
Facts. I'll make sure y'all never have a TV deal ever. Y'all don't block for me. You won't get your retirement funds, motherfucker. I'll make sure of it.
Play with me again.
Well, first of all, if you lose your entire family for a team, you probably would be cussing too on the sideline. So, I mean,
Did you see Giselle walk out on me?
Okay.
I did. I left my damn family for this. Damn it! Y'all could do something too. Y'all could step up. I want to see neck. I want you on the next drive. You breaking your neck. You hear me?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I want to see a finger broken, an elbow dislocated. Somebody's got to do something for me.
But that's why we're seeing his emotion, because he's lost so much for this season, and that's why you're seeing this type of emotion out of him. Like, he doesn't normally have these like reactions, but because he's given up so much to come back, he's emotional. I don't blame him. Shoot, do your job, homie. That's what you get paid to do.
I don't know. See, what if we got that story wrong? What if Giselle was leaving him anyways and he decided to use football to replace her?
It's still bad. You should have given it your all and stayed and figured it out. Like,
I got
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marriage
Sometimes-
is an institution. Marriage is a sacred thing.
That's why I refuse
And
to enter
football is not marriage.
I'm good. I'm good on
You
that.
You good? You okay? You don't want to try? I mean, it's the greatest thing ever.
AJ's
to wake
gonna
up
do it.
next to the
It
person.
just sounds,
that
it just
you love
sounds
the
really
most
expensive.
without them
It sounds
killing you
really
in your sleep.
expensive and sexually
Really?
mundane. I'm good.
Wow.
Sexually
Wow.
mundane.
Wow.
We got to have that conversation someday.
Wow. AJ.
I'm taking a clip of this. That was good.
You know what?
Mhm.
Okay. What's the next game? We're just gonna leave that one.
No,
right
no,
there.
we still got more. Yeah, who hurt you? Yeah. We still got more from Mr. Brady. Here's some of his reactions after the game. They lost, by the way, to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who haven't won a game in 4 games.
Right.
They haven't won, and they lost by 2 points. How did they lose by 2, AJ? Like, I'm telling you.
What was it?
this is a rough-
2018. It was 2018, right?
It was 2018. Yeah.
2018,
This is just a referendum of this season. Just how weird, ugly, and uneventful this football league has been this year for some reason. I don't know.
God.
Am I the only one who thinks that way?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right.
It's been eventful for
course.
me. I'm having
Oh,
fun.
shut up, AJ.
My heart is
All right.
heavy.
Well, let's check out Tom Brady's reactions right after the game.
All right.
It's my
He's
TV
ready.
show right
I know
here.
that you're very
Right
close to
here.
all your teammates. Just what was
Yeah.
it like seeing Cam go down and was on the field for eight minutes being attended to by all those trainers?
Yeah, tough sport, and we all love him to death. So we all hope he's okay, and we'll get reports hopefully pretty soon.
Tom, why can't this team get in the end zone more regularly than it has?
It's just execution, Just all got to do a better job. So go back, watch tape, and obviously a lot to correct.
The Steelers secondary was pretty decimated by injuries. What did you see when you were out there coverage-wise?
They did a good job. The guys that were in there did a good job for him.
Why they take a dig at him though? Why they took a dig at him? Like the Steelers secondary was decimated, and yet you still. What did you see out there? Like you still couldn't get through to that. And look at the way he's looking at her. Look at the way he's looking at her.
Oh,
Bitch,
you
I
know
will
what he want to
punch-
say. First, he want to lead with the word bitch, and then
I said, big no.
Let's get one thing clear, bitch. I won in this league, all right?
Do you know who you talking to? Do you know who I am?
6 rings, bitch. 6 rings, motherfucker. Because I could get it done here. Don't talk to me about decimated secondary when my O-line ain't even guarding for me.
Oh, God.
oh my goodness.
They tackled well and
It really hurt.
limited some run after catch. We just missed too many opportunities in the red area, and it's a game of scoring points, and we just didn't do well enough on third down and in short yardage situations, and certainly not well enough in the red area.
Tom, we heard from several guys in the locker room seeing the same things along the lines of like finding their identity.
Oh, God. See.
Prince,
see.
really?
Oh, that's filthy, Prince. Oh.
Yikes.
Wow.
Ooh, that's dirty. This is dirt, folks. Anyone who's watching this on replay, this is the shenanigans we have to deal with on a daily.
Oh my God.
6 rings minus his wedding ring. God bless him. God bless.
That's out.
That's cold.
That's cold.
I guess he'll have to just sleep it off in his $1 million mansion.
Yeah, like LeBron said after that Game 6 loss against Dallas. All right, peons, I'm gonna be on my yacht. You know?
I think it's just execution. We have to play a lot better. So it really doesn't matter if you run it, if you throw it outside, you throw it inside, you run it inside, you run it outside. it's an execution game. You either make the play or you don't. So there's too many plays we're not making.
Look at that body
It's frustrating
language.
to kind of get so close. You know,
He's
you were inside
pissed.
The 10-yard line.
He's
you know, a couple
pissed,
times,
yeah.
At least two, and just to kind of settle for a field goal. You know, you got even on the 2-point conversion, you get in a chance to tie the game. You know, frustrating just to kind of get so close, but not kind of be able to get over the hump.
Yeah, you know, it's just not doing a good enough job down there.
It seemed like today was a day that just nothing really went right. Like the quarterback sneak that we, you know, is kind of becoming your trademark. Even that. I mean, does that just kind of sum up how mad we
Why is it a lady
You're
gotta
just
be
sucking
so
today. No.
No, but why is it that there's a woman that has to take these digs? So
that's
it's like
what
I could
Giselle-
see
Giselle
him.
Taylor.
Yeah, I could see him with the piercing eyes looking at her like, bitch, are you talking again? You talking again?
Look, she's
Is
probably
Tom
his
Brady
ex-wife.
gonna have to smack a chick?
Look, his ex-wife probably called her and be like, ask him these questions. And she's like, so, Tom.
So by
You
the
know,
way,
the guys are feeling sorry for him. The guys are all like, oh, it's okay, Tom. She's like, so, you sucked, obviously, because their secondary wasn't even there. And they're like riddled with injury, and you couldn't even perform in the secondary. That's basically what she said.
Wow.
So do you think you should have hung it up and stood with your wife?
Okay.
Oh. I feel like we're all going to be on Tom Brady's hit list after this. I'm not comfortable.
Oh no, braids,
I am
braids,
not
no
comfortable.
braids. I'm not part of this.
That's why I'm like, hey, Brady,
Yeah,
you were still my favorite vampire. But that 10 for 21 in the first half wasn't very Brady.
Who cares? He's playing crappy. Like, let's just keep it 100. I don't give a damn. What are you going to do?
What was it, 110 yards?
Yeah.
What
I
is he
think
gonna
he's
do,
going to
Paula?
bounce back fine. I think he'll be all right. He'll bounce back fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, he will. Well, yeah.
Okay. Sure. I think he's going to be all right.
He's going to be fine.
Yeah. He's going to take that.
45
He's
years
going
old.
to
He
take,
just
look,
needs a break.
it's going to be an early exit this season for them. He'll be fine. He'll be good.
All right.
You know?
Let's move on. As long as we
Well,
don't-
I have to shout out my team because hey, it's the Morning Fix, my show. So, my team, this guy, I still not sold on, but again, got Rookie of the Week last week and is probably going to get it again this week. And this guy named Sauce Gardner, again, Saucy Gardner, was seen wearing the Packers hat, and
put on a cheese head.
Look at how that went down.
You know, man, running off the field with that cheese head thing. Cheese on my
Hey,
head.
get it? Talk your
That was a
shit.
crazy feeling right there.
JETS.
Put it on my head, the Jets fan, so you know, I just had to take it and run with it.
He smacked it straight off his head.
Yeah, they're boys. Apparently, they're boys. They're just a little banter. You know, they're playing around.
Take that crap off.
It's all good.
Okay, so can we talk about how I think something's wrong with Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, that's actually the next clip we're about to get into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
So-
it's supposed to be his thumb, but I think something else is wrong with him physically.
I
What do
don't
you
know
think
if
it
it's. I don't think it's physical. Based off this post game interview, it sounds like there's some there's disconnect going on for sure.
Okay.
So let's take a look at this. You guys will see here what I'm talking about.
First, how does the thumb feel after that?
It's a little sore.
Either or affect your accuracy or your throws today?
Maybe a couple, but not too many.
You guys feel like you're kind of in a crisis mode right now a little bit?
I don't really know what that means, Pete. Can you explain?
That, you know, the season's kind of...
How many games in are we in, AJ? 6 games?
Six. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why would you be in crisis mode right now? Right?
I mean, on the Packer scale, yeah, it's crisis mode.
How so? I'm curious.
Like if this was the Jets, fine. The Jets, we know they're gonna suck, but not the Packers. Not the Packers. This is not, this is not becoming of y'all. Even when y'all don't have the good receiving core, y'all still pull it off. What's going on here?
They got off to a late start a few seasons ago.
No, last season they had one bad game. That was the first game, and then they just balled out the rest of the season.
Correct. I'm talking about a couple of seasons ago. They started 1-4.
His MVP season?
Yeah, I think he started out 1-4.
He had two back to back. I mean, I'm just glad he's not going to get an MVP this year. Get out the way.
AJ said we're gonna lose.
Ooh,
I'm
wow!
telling you
Tell
guys,
us how you
AJ
really
is
feel.
vicious on the football field. Don't play with him. Don't play with him.
To be fair, at the moment, it looks like he just needs a sandwich.
He looks like he wants to be like hunting somewhere. He don't give a fuck about this game right now. He got his money.
That's what I said. AJ, you like AJ.
Wait a minute. Do you think guys are going to be willing to get on that football field to get hurt? Just for, like, you know what I mean? Like, if he really made his money, AJ, I don't think he'll be here. I think he really wants to win, though.
I mean, of course he wants to win, but but mentally you still have to be in the game. You can still check out and want to win.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just saying, whoever he's looking at right now, that is a crazy eye.
Oh yeah,
He's
but
looking at
that's
Pete.
typical. That's
He's looking at
typical of
Pete.
Aaron.
You know,
he always
please
is
explain,
this
Pete.
serious. You guys see him on interviews. He's always got this weird death stare. He's just even in the Joe Rogan interview, he would smile like this, kind of like Keisha a little, scary, creepy, and just like
wow, damn. Scary,
It's not
creepy.
a. It's when you do the laugh on purpose. It's not the. See, now y'all
Wow.
misunderstanding me. Okay, all right.
Are you saying she laughs without moving her lips?
She does that.
Like,
Yes, she does that. She does
Yeah.
that. Exactly. She does that. Yeah.
You guys suck at it, too, by the way.
I don't know. I mean,
Evil, you should got evil black woman syndrome.
we got to be realistic about where we're at. We played a couple subpar games the last two. Still got to play better. But wobbly, only if people are breaking rank. You know, I think it'll be interesting to look at the comments from all of our guys and
Right
coaches.
here. Right here.
And hopefully we stick together. That's the important thing. But until I see us breaking ranks, I'm not going to say there's any wobbliness going on.
Aaron, what is it that you think you guys?
In other
What do you guys think of
words,
that?
I'm the
What do you
head
think
nigga in charge, and if y'all start fucking up, I will really call you out. But we gonna- Got it.
Y'all not
That's what I
gonna
heard.
blame this shit on me, is what he's saying.
Okay.
That's pretty much that's what he's saying. Y'all ain't gonna blame none of this shit on me. That Matt LaFleur guy that y'all decided to hire, that guy over there, or these guys you decided to put on the football field, none of that is on me. One, I
Yes,
don't know
it
if
is
you
on
guys.
him. Yes, it is on him. That's bullshit because he knew Devontae Adams would be pushed out if he took that money, and he took the money.
Oh,
Let's see. Let's see.
You guys need to be offensively? What do you need to do?
Simpler. Simplify some things.
Do you spend when you say anyone's breaking rank? How much time do you spend reading the reports or listening to videos or radio just to
Zero.
So that's
Tom sometimes will send me some stuff, but
Who's
I
Tom?
spend zero time on that.
I don't know. Don't care.
know about it then?
Tom would send me it. Yeah.
Aaron, can I get back to just what you mean?
Yeah,
by
sir.
What do you mean by simplify? What, like, you're talking like scheme? You're talking game plans? Too much volume? What do you think?
All of it. Yeah. I don't want to get too specific. And I'm not attacking anything. I just think that based on how we've played the last 2 weeks, I think it's going to be in our best interest to simplify things for everybody. For
He's saying a whole lot without
line,
saying
for the
nothing.
backs, for the receivers, especially with Cobb's
I think he's calling the rest of his or his team stupid.
Well, I think he said
I
what
really
he
do.
had. I think out of this entire interview, he said what he wanted to say. It all depends on people not breaking rank. That's pretty much what it boils down to.
Exactly.
He said a
Yeah.
whole lot without saying nothing. He is making it very clear, like, simplify, all
Mhm.
around. Those who know, because I've already told them.
I already let y'all. I put all y'all on notice. Either
The
y'all
memo
figure
has
it
already
out.
gone out. I'm just here to
Mhm.
do my duty and speak to you because really I want to tell all you guys to fuck off too. So.
Facts. That's just how it's got to be.
I'm just
I
here
don't
so
hear
I don't
anything.
get fined.
And what does it mean to be simpler, AJ, in the game or the
Hey, but
approach of the
wait,
game?
before AJ answers, I'm about to roll out. You gentlemen have fun. I will catch you on the back end. Thank you. Glenn, I'm not apologizing, just so you know.
You should. You laughed at me.
And I will continue to laugh at you.
You laughed at me without moving your face muscles.
Okay, here, let me do it for
Exactly. You do that. You do that.
That's
there it is.
nightmare fuel.
There it is. All right. So AJ, what does it
Yo.
mean when he says we have to be simpler?
I'm about to go here and curse these guys out.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because I
The
mean,
fact
he has pretty
the
much the
fact
same
that you can
problem
actually
that
do
Russ
that
is
in the
having
league
right
like
now.
that made my left butt cheek hurt.
What happened?
I said the fact that Keisha can like laugh like that and like the face doesn't move, it makes my left butt cheek hurt. Like it reminds me of my mother, and like because of my arthritis in my left butt cheek, and it terrifies me. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time.
What is going on here? Oh man. I swear I could have a vision to how I want to run this hour, but I swear, folks, we cannot control, how this goes. But it's all organic and it's all fun. But what does it mean to get to being simpler? Are they doing something complex that we're all unaware of?
I don't know, but obviously he's not going to share it here because
Yeah.
he's not going to like give opposing teams like the sauce that you're trying to come up with. But I don't know, it's just working together. He's having the same issue Russ is having right now. Chemistry with the receivers. We don't have, Devontae was his go-to, and now he don't have him. So, we're trying to make
He don't have
Lazard.
Devontae. He also don't have Cobb.
Right. We're trying to make Lazard that dude, and we'll see.
Yeah, there was a couple of occasions where there was a deep pass to Lazard, and Sauce Gardner got injured, and Eichel was the replacement. And I saw a few times a grabbing of the jersey, pulling down, and it was no call on the play. And me as a Jet fan, it doesn't matter. I'm a football fan, and I don't like when a receiver is touched before they need to be. Because if you're really good, you should be able to defend that without having to touch the receiver. But that is what it is. I wanted to touch on this Giants game, but first I want to show you guys the post game to Saquon Barkley. He seems to be positive, but seems to be even killed. So check this out.
Dave said it. It's okay to be happy. You can be happy being 5-1. It's hard to win this league. You can enjoy it, but at the end of the day, you can't get too overconfident. You guys keep taking it week by week, keep falling in love with the process, and that's the mindset we're going to continue to have. The run before.
So that's the part that I thought was really important for everyone to have a takeaway. And it sounds like they have a good formula in the office, in the locker room for how they're moving in this season. They probably didn't have high stakes, and they are playing with house money. But I think they do have the right recipe, and they're winning these games. I don't judge an NFL team by how they play and play from ahead. This team came back in this game against the Ravens. One, this is a referendum on the Ravens. We all know Lamar Jackson is not it. We know that he's not carrying that team the way he should. But this was also a great revelation of where the Giants are. And the fact that they can come back against a team like the Ravens tells me that they're probably going to make it to the playoffs.
I want to just be superficial for a moment and just
Go
point
ahead.
out Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and now Saquon. Their jackets are like, it just looks like money. Those jackets are they're tailored. They're like perfect. They're like just, I mean, like it probably take me a year to buy one of those jackets, but I just want.
I'm not lying. Yeah, facts. Even Geno Smith. How much you think Geno Smith's suit looked real basic, but I bet you it was like bank.
No, that's basic. He only getting $3 million at this point. He ain't there yet.
Oh, he's not getting big money, is what you're saying.
Nah, I'm messing with you. $3 million.
All right.
$3 million is nothing to sneeze at.
So we got 17 for 32 from Lamar Jackson. I'm not surprised at all. The guy's never been good at and accurate at throwing. 210 yards. We see 1 touchdown, 1 interception. This is as good as it's going to get from this guy. You're going to have those pockets where he has an outstanding game, throwing for 300 yards, throw for 3 touchdowns, run for a freaking touchdown for all we know.
No. You left out an important detail.
What is that?
Usually a crappy team they're playing. When he goes up against these good teams, they always come out either barely winning or they lose.
And just look how bad Daniel Jones is doing too as well. You got 19 for 27, 173 yards. Like, that's incredible. That means what Saquon Barkley, him just being there and being that threat and having to worry about the running and the possible throwing threat tells me not only is the offense having that bit of confusion, but it also tells me that the defense of the Giants is stepping up too as well.
Facts.
When they need to be, at least. I mean, it's not a scary defense, to be honest with you.
Saquon.
Yeah. So there's that. And the New York teams right now, it's 6 weeks in. We have to see. I think by the way it looks on the NFC side with the Eagles, Giants, and the Cowgirls, I do believe that it's going to be a three-way race as it always usually is. But it looks like the Eagles are doing outstanding. Really good, playing really sound football right now. And they could literally coast and probably win this division. You guys agree?
I mean, other than
who's the last undefeated team?
Eagles.
Eagles, yeah.
It is the Eagles.
Uh-oh. What is that smirk? Wait, what is that smirk? What? Am I missing something here? Wait.
No. I'm just still waiting. Still waiting.
Still waiting for what? Wait,
Sometimes I just was laughed at and ridiculed.
Oh no! Don't even start.
I'm bitter. I'm bitter. I want y'all to be better, so I'm bitter.
Here we go. We have Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur's post-game. And I want to hear what he has to say after Aaron Rodgers' post-game. Let's see.
He got a baby
Obviously,
he does. He looks like a child, too.
He really does. That's a grown man.
Extremely disappointed right now. That was very humbling when you're in your own building and you get taken like that and lose by 3 scores. We all got to be better. Absolutely, coach it better. Got to execute better. We got to get back to work. But the reality is, right now, we're 6 games into this thing. We're 3-3. There's a lot of ball in front of us, but we have to have that urgency to want to improve. We got to clean up a ton of details. We're gonna have to take a good hard look at everything and really do some great evaluations from a coaching perspective in terms of what's working, what's not working, and try to find a different avenue, because today was not good enough. Give the Jets a ton of credit. They came in, they were prepared. I thought our defense battled in that first half. I thought, special teams, there was some good and bad, obviously, but we didn't do enough offensively in that first half to even give us a chance to take control of a game. And, but I was proud of our guys' effort. I thought, anytime that you're getting whipped like that, but down 2 scores, and they've got the ball on the 4-yard line or whatever, 1st and goal, we get a personal foul penalty, and you get another free set of downs, and our guys kept battling to keep them out of the end zone.
Well, it sounds like to me you guys weren't focused, because if they understand what's going on and what's at stake, they wouldn't have those breakdowns. And that's what pisses me off about certain football teams, is that you're within striking distance, and next thing you know, a guy gets flagged for a freaking pass interference, or a guy gets flagged for holding. It's like, that is just, that's all on everyone. That's coaching. That's people like if you see a guy that's losing focus, interchange him, get another guy in there
Exactly.
because clearly he needs a couple of downs to regain himself, especially when you're having this friction and you're having Aaron Rodgers speaking so cryptic. It sounds to me that there is some issues going on. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, that's what you were meaning about Aaron Rodgers' mental state. You think it's something? Okay, I understand what you mean now.
Yeah.
But they got bullied from kickoff. Like really, they absolutely got bullied. They got pushed all over the field. They flipping could not make a completion. The defense couldn't hold. I mean, it was just bad. And then
All
stupid
around.
penalties in the flipping red zone. That's y'all. They're having breakdowns. They got bullied.
Yeah, it just tells me that that they again loss of focus, not buying into the vision, and when people don't buy into your formula, that's when you get those kinds of things. People just kind of go off the deep end there.
Facts.
So what did you guys think of? I know Tua came back.
No, he
What
did.
did you guys? Oh, so he didn't. I thought he did. I
He'll be
thought I
back.
saw
He'll be
that.
back next week. He'll be back next week.
Okay. All right. So did Miami? Let me see the score on that Miami game
No,
there.
they got mollywopped by the Vikings. Was it 24-16? Yeah, 24-16. So yeah, the Vikings are killing
24-16.
themselves right now.
So this is a revelation that this team is as good as their quarterback, right? Yes or no, AJ? Yep.
Absolutely. Without and what all I want now is for Tua to come back and just pick up where they left off. That's what I want for Miami.
Yep.
Because
Let me show you how much I mean to this team.
You take that break and then you got to find the vibe again. So I just want them to seamlessly come back because Teddy Bridgewater ain't it, and then the third string dude ain't it. Clearly, they can't hold the fort down while you out.
Facts.
Hey, AJ, I got a question for you.
There it is.
Why is it that you hate quarterbacks from the University of Louisville? I mean, you don't like Lamar Jackson. You're critical of Bridgewater. Like, what's going on? Did Kentucky hurt you?
I like Daniel Cameron. If we're gonna talk politics, but I don't know. Lamar. I don't like the overhype because I always like the details. The details of Lamar Jackson is BS, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's so electric." He's playing the Jaguars. Of course, he's going to be electric. Whatever. Anyway.
Wow. I like Bridgewater though.
Bridgewater is a great journeyman. He is. I'll give him that.
Because I mean, he could have went real downhill after his injury, and he bounced back. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Good journeyman. Yeah. This was the game for me because this was kind of like a playoff showdown or a preview of what's to come, and to see the way this Bills defense showed up. I mean, wow.
I mean, literally the two, in my opinion, the two best quarterbacks right now.
I agree.
These are them right
from
now.
the same draft class, by the way.
Right.
From the same draft class.
Exactly. I was like, to watch Allen's growth, and then Mahomes. We all know his journey, but Allen, because remember they were questioning him at first, and it was like you built the team around him. The Bills need a chip. I want a chip for the Bills.
It started actually with Josh Allen feeling like Mahomes shouldn't have gone before him. That's where it started. Because Josh Allen said, I'm top 5 in the pick, but then went like 11 or 9 or something like that, right? So he had a chip on his shoulders like, nah, I'm going to come in and I'm going to show y'all. And he's been showing us since he's been in the league. He has some vulnerabilities that is very clear that if you hurry him up, he gets happy feet, and all of a sudden he starts making some reckless decisions. However, what also this game revealed to me is that Kansas City has an issue with their defense, big time. Can we have the conversation? They're not going to win deep in this season if they don't fix their defense. Period.
Here's my thing. I think they have an issue with their offensive line. I really do.
Okay.
Like Patrick Mahomes. All right. So this man gets sacked 3 times, and he throws 2 interceptions because he was being hurried. I mean, they're not really giving him a whole lot of time, especially like Buffalo likes to flip and rush the quarterback anyway, and that showed where Patrick Mahomes is weak at, and the offensive line. They got to tighten up those holes.
They do. And you can't rely on Patrick to always run out of the pocket and gunslinging like a old school Brett Favre. You're not going to get that every single time, especially from a good defense that wants to snake him out of the pocket.
Yeah.
Right?
Look, they keep that up. They keep that up. He's going to end up with PTSD like Joe Burrows.
Oh, it's going to be bad because, again, how many times, how many years this guy's been taking some real serious hits, right? He's a big guy. Don't get it twisted. Patrick Mahomes is a huge guy, but he's no linebacker, right? No. He's no defensive tackle. Again, the Bills defense clearly wanted to snake him out of the pocket. Patrick Mahomes has to figure out a way to play in the pocket at times.
Mm-hmm.
Snaking him out is the game plan because you got fast enough outside linebackers who are going to chase him and hunt him down and hit him before the throw gets tossed. There was a hit he took yesterday, guys, that he went and purposely threw it down on the ground, a spike, and took a massive hit, right? It wasn't a penalty because he still had the ball, but this is what I'm talking about. The guy's got to figure out a way to protect himself because if he continues down this road, Patrick Mahomes is not going to have a long career. He's just not.
He better learn MMA because that's the only way he's going to be able to protect himself.
Facts, because that offensive line, like you said, they're just used to him running out of the pocket, zone blocking. You shift over your guards. Hey, we're just going to move over here because he probably is going to run over here. You got to figure out a way to play this guy in the pocket. He's got a great enough arm to do it. I don't see why not. So, but kudos to the Bills. I agree. As much as I'm a Jet fan, I'm still a football fan. By the way these Bills are playing, I think they should go deep and, in fact, go to the Super Bowl. And hopefully they win.
And invite OJ.
Oh.
Okay, couple of controversial clips for you guys.
I tried to not laugh that hard. I just got a visual of OJ sitting there like.
But he said it. He said
where the white women at?
Yeah, he said it so carelessly. He was just like, "Yeah, by OJ."
Where the white women at?
Oh my gosh!
All right. Something happened on Sunday, and I'm not surprised. An ex-Jet named Robbie Anderson was kicked out of the game, not by the referees, but by the coaches. Apparently, there's been trade talks ramping up. There's a disconnect between Baker Mayfield and another receiver. This is not a surprise and shouldn't be a surprise because Baker Mayfield is trash and always blames things on receivers. And he had a great receiver in Odell Beckham and couldn't make it work out with one of the best receivers. And now with Butterfingers, which is what I historically called Robbie Anderson in the New York Jets, had all the wheels in the world, but don't have no damn hands. Has been kicked out of the game on this past Sunday and is possibly last day as a Panther. Here's some of that clip.
Well, we got a situation. Robbie Anderson has just been apparently kicked out of the game by his own coach. Steve Wilks, the interim head coach. Anderson said something again to one of the coaches on the sideline. Steve Wilks came over and they barked at each other again. That was one more. Apparently, that was a last straw type thing. Watch Steve Wilks. He hears something else and he's like.
All right. So the coaches go at it over Robbie. And guys, you guys are not Jet fans. I am. This is typical Robbie Anderson behavior. I don't know if you guys know this. He was arrested many times in New York, speeding, doing all types of criminality. The guy is a loose cannon. Like I said, yeah, go ahead.
Anybody with hair like that, yeah. But go ahead.
AJ, I swear I was over here thinking I can't take him serious with his wicks blowing in the breeze like that.
Terrible hair. And apparently he was going at it with the coach, yelling, hooting, hollering. The Panthers have a 1-5 season. The Panthers ain't going nowhere. They thought they had something in the fellow ex-Jet quarterback. That went nowhere.
Arnold.
Now they're going, huh?
Sam Darnold.
They thought they had something with Sam Darnold. Clearly, they didn't pick up the memo from the Jets. So that was a failure. Now they want to pick up Baker Mayfield, realize, oh, this guy's not good. Didn't pick up the memo from the Browns. He's not good, right? And Robbie Anderson's not good either. However, I do believe this may or may not be his last day in the NFL. I do believe he may have a chance because maybe a guy named Tom Brady knows how to use guys like Robbie Anderson, to be honest with you guys. What do you guys think? He's the only option. He's the only option.
I'm gonna say it like this. The first thing is he was that the wide receiver coach or the offensive coach he was yelling at in the first place?
I think Wilkes is the wide receiver coach.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know what was going on between them, but of course he's worried about how many touches he's getting in the routes and all this other stuff. And to be honest with you, watching him, he's really just, that's not the spot for him. They're not really looking for him. Right. He needs to move on. I could understand his level of frustration, but he has no professionalism.
Facts.
He's never had professionalism. This is typical Robbie Anderson behavior. He acts like he's a perennial all-star, a superstar, when he don't have the hands to support it. The guy can't catch to save his life. He's been open more times in Jets history than any player in the NFL when we had Mr. Lorix as our coach, the guy that's now doing the commentary on Thursday Night Football. We're talking about the guy with the big, luscious beard, that guy, right? Probably he was a good quarterback, in my opinion. And I can't tell you guys how many times Robbie Anderson was open with him. Wide open, in the end zone.
I don't know. I don't think Tom Brady has the mental fortitude to take on another AB right now.
Ooh.
And if that's the case,
I think he would literally spaz the fuck out on this man if he fucked up or did something stupid. So I don't. OBJ, get OBJ down there to Tampa.
Please. Why isn't OBJ signed? Look, I know OBJ is a headache, and let's make the case for him really quickly before we get to the last clip. What was that?
He's a diva. We know OBJ's a diva.
Diva is the female definition.
But OBJ is no AB. Right. Let's make the difference, right? Let's make the case for OBJ really quickly. Okay. He needs to be signed, and he should be signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pronto because Mike Evans needs help. He's being double teamed, and there's no way that Tom Brady's going to get the ball off fast enough. I know we got Fournette. He's doing pretty good. He's carrying the ball well, and he's moving out of the backfield to catch because we know Tom Brady loves to dump through the side routes. He loves that option. However, how can you have that option if you're not moving that secondary and even those outside linebackers out of that area, out of that space? Odell Beckham is your answer. Tampa, do what's best and sign that diva because that diva is the guy I'd rather have than an AB, to be honest with you. I'd rather have that guy. To be honest.
Listen, if I had just heard that speech and I was the GM over at Tampa, I'd have signed him immediately. But boy,
can I see the AB dance when you have a moment?
Yeah, we'll get that. We got it right here.
Chase Davis on the beat.
Put that shit on. Put that shit on. Put that shit on. Put that shit on.
I can't take the little walk, but he's moving too much hip, by the way, just letting y'all know. Too much hip.
It's like he had baby arms.
You got to commit to it. You
have to. With that outfit, AJ, you have to commit to it. Unbelievable. All right, let's move on to the last
so much
clip.
leather.
That is a lot. Well, that's actual leather. That's the problem. He probably had to put so much baby powder on his lower powder just so he could be able to slide out that motherfucker. All right. This was I am a Todd Bowles supporter. I liked him as a head coach in the New York Jets. Don't think the Jets organization gave this man a fair shake. However, Tampa Bay has given him a fair shake. Mark my words, Tom Brady's going to leave. But the Buccaneers will be in good hands because this guy is a great coach and has a great head on his shoulders. Mark my words, Tampa Bay, this ain't over for them after Tom Brady leaves. Check this out.
You're only saying that because he's black.
Uh-oh. Well, let's let Tabo speak for himself, shall we?
Tomlin are two of the few black head coaches in the league. I wonder what your relationship is like with them and your thoughts on Steve Wilkes joining that fold.
I have a very good relationship with Tomlin. We don't look at what color we are when we coach against each other. We just know each other. I have a lot of very good white friends that coach in this league as well, and I don't think it's a big deal as far as us coaching against each other. I think it's normal. Wilkes got an opportunity to do a good job. Hopefully he does it. And we coach ball. We don't look at color.
You also understand that representation matters too, right? And that when young aspiring coaches or even football players, they see you guys, they see someone that looks like them, maybe grew up like them, that has to mean something.
Well, when you say you see you guys and look like them and grow up like them, means that we're oddballs to begin with. And
But he wanted to say something else.
Mm-hmm.
So
you want to say
I think the
ninjas,
minute
don't you?
you guys stop making a big deal about it, everybody else will as well.
Atta boy.
Booyah.
Why do I mess with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? That they flipping defy the woke indoctrination bull crap.
Fact.
They deny that bacon lives matter. Thank you.
I'm sick of it.
But wait a minute, because someone's black and you see them and you're inspired by them, that means y'all grew up the same too.
Right.
What?
Like, wait a minute. So all black people grew up the same? We all come from the same circumstances? We really? That's what we doing here?
We are not a monolith.
But in the one sense, they'll say we're not a monolith, but you're not supposed to be on the other side when it comes to the thinking process of conservatism, whatever the case may be. So we're not a monolith. Yeah, we don't think the same until you're a conservative. You know what I mean? Anyways, this was a great response to a press that is more racialized and more polarized than we think. Why is this being asked to a man in football is beyond me. I don't watch football to think politics and Joe Biden eating his damn ice cream. I watch football to see the damn sport because these guys do something I can never do. Trust me, I aspired to play football. I played it in high school. I learned the schematics, I had tons of heart, can hit, can tackle very well, but I can't do anything, not a lick of what these men could do. So I don't watch football for the politics. I don't watch football because of the first head coach is black going against another head coach that's black and Mike Tomlin. That's not why we're watching it, folks. We're watching this to get away from the bullshit that we see in society. Stay out of sports. Stay out of my entertainment.
And even if that's why you're doing it, it doesn't have to be like this. Moment.
In the water.
It's like, all right, okay, cool. It is cool that two black head coaches are doing their thing. All right, moving on.
We have overcome. I'm just waiting for the flipping dancers to go out there singing Negro spirituals. Like, I stepped in the water. The water was cold.
Ooh.
Y'all,
come on, somebody. Oh, yeah.
I love the fact that these two coaches do not give a dag on what color they are. We are trying to beat y'all. I don't care if it was a white coach. I don't care if it was a black coach. I'm trying to put that dub on there.
Let's get it.
Y'all worry about the club. Y'all worry about color.
I'll worry about the dumb commentary y'all worry about, but don't bring me into that mess. And when you say y'all guys, representation of what you grew up, the life they grew up. Whoa. Don't lump us all into that. What's wrong with y'all?
She wanted to say, y'all niggas.
Yeah, y'all all look to grow up to say y'all eat chitlins. Y'all eat chitlins, right? So they should have a coach who eats chitlins like the.
Nana had flipping hot sauce in the purse. Keep playing. We know what you meant.
Nana got the hot sauce in the purse with the peppermints.
Oh, not the suck and save peppermints. Oh
No,
no.
she got. Remember that little licorice that it was like it had that little ivory soap taste, that little candy.
Oh yes.
My grandmother has that. She's like, "You want a little candy?" I'm like, "Hell no, get that."
Nah, that was my Aunt Becky. My Aunt Becky had that. Oh,
that ain't candy. Why they call that candy is beyond me. Ain't candy. That's soap. Why you putting soap in my mouth? Oh man.
Wow,
Well,
that's
fellas,
horrible.
this has been real. Thank you for joining me. And everybody out there for Sports Hour, keep it locked. We got one more hours of news coverage and covering the debates and the debacle of the politics here on the Morning Fix Live Radio Show. Until next time, we'll see you guys.
Good enough, not at all. Hey there, why you always looking so upset? Yes, there, nothing's ever good enough, not at all. See you soon, turn up, have fun, I'm a front. I don't really think I vibe with any of you. Catch a ride, now I'm stuck, I'm a diamond in the rough. Always trying to bring me down, never stress. No love, no smile to be found. You're toxic all you around. I don't wanna rush this, I'll make a mountain around. You can don't wanna make you sound. And I told her I don't wanna stand you when I'm sober. IG pretty morning over. Sober my line. How did I think you'd be a good time? Mine. Stuck around in the fire. Saying you don't know me. Talk too much. I'm a homie. Waited up. You're such a phony. Had enough, but that's just on me. That's my luck, but that's just on me. I've been on it. I'll be crazy not to start it. And I'd be lying if I said none of this goes to my head. Oh, what's that? Hey there, why you always looking so upset? That's that, nothing's ever good enough, not at all. That's that, hey there, why you always looking so upset? That's that, nothing's ever good enough, not at all.
I put 500 miles on the whip, trips to upstate, 2 tabs of acid on the lip. I was up late, flew back from Cali, 50 minutes, caused a touch base. Okay, what's up, babe? 500 miles on the whip, trips to upstate, 2 tabs of acid on the lip. I was up late, flew back from Cali, 50 minutes, caused a touch base. Okay, I had to upgrade, yeah. I've been treating. Hard to reach in morning, evening, every weekend. Say, why you tweaking? Technically, we not speaking. So you don't even have the right to know. Where I be when I say I'ma go. Where I sleep when I say I'm at home. Call her creeping, lurking through my phone. Say, girl, you got it.
All right, folks, we're back here on Morning Fix Live Radio Show for another hour of news coverage. I want to thank you guys for joining in this endeavor of us having our sports hour. I know some of you are not all into sports, but hey, you get to sit down and have a conversation with us here on the Morning Fix. You get to see our personality, you get to see us cover things that we're very passionate about. It is 12:04 Eastern Standard Time here in New York City. October 17th, 2022. And currently the temperature in New York City is 63 degrees and cloudy, nasty, crummy, disgusting, decrepit, and dirty. It smells here, as always. But yes, we're having a really nasty day. But nonetheless, we are alive. We are here. We can thank God for that. And happy to be here on this show. We are covering this debate in Atlanta, Georgia, between Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker. And there are a lot of sound bites from there that they are going to be upset with and frustrated with, but we're not, because we're going to dissect it here on the Morning Fix. That's what we do. And here's a little bit more of that.
Donald Trump in 2020. Again, sir, you have 60 seconds.
Well, first of all, I need to mention.
And just to recap at this point, we cut off here with Keisha. We previously saw the question was, do you believe that Joe Biden won? Do you believe that our election results are accurate? Of course, they're asking Republicans this. This is the problem, because Republicans have had questions about the 2020 elections. And it's funny because I didn't hear not a single commentator or moderator ask this question in 2020 to any Democrat candidate, to which they all questioned the 2016 election. So they're, again, they're not playing fair. They never do. And it always tips their hand as to see who they really are for. The media is never for the Republican side. They're mostly for the Democrat side, because the media is socially liberal. Socially, that's it, purely. And they think being a conservative hinders them from being that way. They think being a Republican hinders them to being able to express themselves in a socially liberal climate. But it turns out that social liberalism does not cultivate good policies. You see the crime rates, right? They're spiking everywhere. You see our inflation is increasing. Gas is expensive in some areas, in most areas around the country, in fact. We have campsites, otherwise known as homeless encampment places in Seattle, a beautiful place, beautiful city, one of the most beautiful cities in this country. In southern part of Los Angeles, San Diego, we have a homeless encampment there. San Diego, another beautiful city, being overtaken by not only the homeless encampment, but also the invasion of illegal migrants, which we're going to cover in the next debate coverage of MGT and Marcus Flowers. But here's, again, that question asked again to Republican. And here's how Herschel Walker handles that.
He said that SB 202, really, it made it easier to vote and harder to cheat. And she mentioned that more people turned out for the primary. So you gotten good at in Washington not answering that question, because that was the question she asked you. And did President
what invite link on Discord? I didn't put an invite link on Discord. On Morning Fix, I did not put an invite link to guest on. So I don't know what exactly are you talking about. The one in my Twitch? Are you talking about Telegram? Because I can put another invite, not an invite link to guest on. I don't just guest on anybody. But I can definitely share the link to the channel so people can watch this show. We can do that. That's not a problem. So I'll put that right in the Discord there. And by the way, folks, thanks for reminding me. Yes, we have a Discord channel, Morning Fix. You guys are more than welcome to join there. We have a Facebook page. We have a YouTube channel, Morning Fix Live Radio Show. We have an Instagram, Morning Fix, so everything, you can find us everywhere right now. And we're trying to build this group. So we can only make it possible if you guys are engaging and buying into the vision. So, yeah. Morning Fix Discord to the left of the chat window. I'm on PC. I don't know what exactly you're talking about, honestly. You would have to give me more context. as you give me more context, you let me know. I'm not sure. First of all, I don't know. Or message me directly on Discord to reveal yourself, because I don't know the handle that you're messaging me on. But let's get back to this debate here.
Biden win.
That is
President
the
Biden
question.
won. President Biden won, and Senator Warnock won. That's the reason I like to run, because we need a change in Washington. We need leaders that's going to stand up to foreign leaders. We need people that's going to stand up for people in Georgia, because Senator Warnock, he went to Washington, but he forgot about Georgia.
Ooh.
And I want to stand for the people of Georgia. He just mentioned he's standing for the people of Georgia.
Got he.
But can he tell me why he voted with Joe Biden 96% of the time?
Got he.
He was standing for Georgia. That tells you that he's for Joe Biden. I'm for Georgia.
Mr. Walker, thank you. Now, before we move on, gentlemen,
I'd like to respond to that.
I will give you that opportunity, sir.
It is,
I will give you that opportunity, Senator. You have 15 seconds to respond.
it is very clear that my opponent would rather be running against anybody except me. But
I'm
either
happy
me,
to run
there
against
are only
him.
two people who are going to sit in this seat, either me or my opponent. And I think this race is about who's ready to represent the people of Georgia, and I'm thinking about them every single day.
But if he
I don't know what that meant. What did any of that mean? Honestly, he seems to be wanting to run against anybody but me. What are you talking about? He just said that you voted on behalf of Joe Biden 96% of the time, and no time to to the people of Georgia. So again, what are you talking about? And then there's only two people that's gonna win that seat. Duh. That's the obvious, Captain Obvious over here.
He cut from the same cloth at 96% of the time, I'm running he and Joe Biden because they're the same.
Gentlemen, we are moving on now. This next question, this is a yes or no response, and this is for both of you. Senator Warnock, yes or no, regardless of who wins in November, will you accept the outcome?
Yes.
And Mr. Walker, regardless of who wins in
Yes.
November, will you accept the outcome?
Yes.
And this is again this weird playing to your emotions, right? Whether you accept the outcome or not, what are you gonna do? Honestly, right? For example, Stacey Abrams has not accepted the outcome of the governor election of of Georgia. What does it matter? Kemp is still the governor, whether she accepts it or not. Nothing hinges upon your acceptance. Is it about whether it's pleasing? Was it about professionalism, being ethical? Sure. But does it stop the hindrance of progression? No, it doesn't. This is a free country. People could agree or disagree to things or not. Don't force my hand. Don't force me to agree. It is what it is. Stacey Abrams don't want to, say, hey, he won the election. Fair game. But don't put the referendum on Republicans if they do the same.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Buck, over to you.
Thank you, Tina. We turn now to the topic of abortion. We're going to start with you, Mr. Walker. A week before this debate, a former girlfriend made public accusations saying you paid for an abortion and that you encouraged her to have another. In an ABC News interview this week, you said that the accusations are, quote, all lies. For the voters watching tonight, can you explain the circumstances surrounding these claims? You have 60 seconds.
Well, as I said, that's a lie. And, most thing I put it in a book. One thing about my life is I've been very transparent. Not like the senator. He's hid things. But at the same time, I said that's a lie. And on abortion, I'm a Christian. I believe in life. And I tell people this, Georgia is a state that respects life, and I'll be a senator that protects life. And I said that was a lie, and I'm not backing down. And when you have Senator Warnock, people that would do anything and say anything for this seat, but I'm not going to back down, because this seat is too important to the Georgia people for me to back down right now.
You've been vocally pro-life, supporting a ban on abortions without exceptions. Would you support a complete ban on a national level?
Well, first of all, see, that's not true either. I said I support.
All right, so I just want to touch into this whole abortion reveal. We can't confirm or deny whether this story is true or not. But fundamentally, this is just an attack historically on Republicans. Anyone who is for life and you are a man, you are going to be attacked if you've gotten an abortion in your life. Because how could you be pro-life when you've had an abortion? Well, let me let you guys in on something. The pro-life movement is not about your past. It's about the future looking ahead. It's about saying from this point on, be pro-life because we believe life begins at conception. You may not have seen that before, but we're not going to not accept you in the fold because you had an abortion previous in your life. Now, you may ask, then why doesn't Herschel Walker just reveal he asked for it? Well, it may sound good and plausible for us at a local level, but on a big stage where Herschel Walker is standing, he probably just has to deny it. And most likely, it probably is a lie. Because again, a lot of these indictments do get hurled back and put back on the laps of Republicans because typically they say, you're a man, you obviously probably had sex with many women. One of those women had to have gotten pregnant. You may not know. And how can you with certainty deny it? Right? So you're a man, you probably didn't pay your child support. You're a man, you probably didn't do this, right? There's always a measure of the honorability of a man when it comes to the Republican Party. And somehow we can simply just turn the other way when it comes to Democrats. Democrats, yeah, we can get abortions because we are for it. We're for women's choice, right? We're all about pro-choice. We're all about pro-choice. So the woman that you're about to have the child with doesn't want to be with you. In fact, doesn't want anything to do with you, but only wants the money in your pocket. We're all about pro-choice till we have that issue. You see, they always talk about the health of the mom, but never talk about the health of the mentality of both mom and dad. And in fact, don't even care about the third person in this, and that is that baby. When people use kids and other people as pawns, that's the problem that goes on in this. You see, we have to value life first to rebuild the family. We have to value and understand the sacredness of this relationship. We have to have this natural occurrence that many people on the right call a consequence. It's not a consequence. When two people have sex, they either give consent, maybe they don't, which is a small fraction in this country, but the large majority who do give consent are either wanting and having a good time with each other, connecting with each other. This is not just one night stands, folks. These are relationships. People who are in love with each other. People who are enamored by each other. People who want to be with each other. And if this is the case, then we need to be providing the resources to these families. How can we help families be solidified? Well, Joe Biden's administration is not going to help any family. When the gas prices are so expensive, they tell you to buy an electric car. Well, that's not going to help a family of four. When the food prices are so expensive, because we have shipping yards still off the coast that can't bring in imports because of COVID. We can't even get certain foods from certain areas around the world and around the country. And plus, we can't even export foods to certain areas because of war. Of course, we could attribute that to the Joe Biden administration for not mediating between Russia and Ukraine. So again, these are multifaceted, multi-layered issues that needs to be dealt with either one by one and all in unison. Whatever. Who cares? But to simply suggest that because this Republican or any man or any woman has gotten an abortion before, you pigeonhole a person that you can never be pro-life because you got an abortion before. They don't know the women that they shit on every time they say that statement. They don't know the women they shit on every time they put this on a Republican's lap. They should be honoring a man who's about pro-life instead of denigrating a man who may have had a falling out with his past relationship where the two can't even be in the same room, nor neither negotiate, to calling that person a deadbeat. That doesn't make a man or a woman a deadbeat. What makes a man or woman a deadbeat is not their appearance. What makes them a deadbeat is their lack of leadership, their lack of emotional control. What makes them a leader or not a leader is not their money. It's their ability to provide in many different facets, and it doesn't have to be material. Are you going to provide comfort, stewardship, leadership, guidance, wisdom? Wisdom, above all, probably wisdom is the best thing to provide as a father. And in any relationship, wisdom is probably the best thing to have at your side and on your hip. But again, it becomes material. We go in and out of materialistic ideas when you're in the Democrat Party. No values. When you don't stand for something, you don't stand for anything at all. So I'd rather lean on the pro-life stance. Why? Because it's a plausible argument. I do believe life begins at conception, and I always believed that when an abortion happens and takes place, we are killing a child. And the mere fact people just don't want to own up to that, right? I've had abortions. I've been a part of it. But it's either here or there. I'll never say that it wasn't a child. Never say it wasn't a human being. And you don't have that in front of you, then you don't stand for solid values, and you damn sure won't stand for a solid home. So we're talking at brick walls at this point. All right, let's continue.
The heartbeat bill. And I say I support the Georgia heartbeat bill because that's the bill of the people from Governor Kemp. And I said that has exceptions in it. I said I'm a Christian, but I'm also representing the people of Georgia, and that's who I represent. So what the people of Georgia stand for, I'm going to say.
So making no concessions, he just said he supports the heartbeat bill. If anyone wants to read the heartbeat bill, just go to Texas. The state has it published and ready there. There are concessions all throughout that bill. It's very short, not very deep. Don't have to look through 150 or 700 pages that the Democrats ever do. It's just, I think, maybe 5 pages. Look it up. Heartbeat bill has concessions for the life of the mother, rape, and incest. It's all there. So, good luck, Raphael.
Staying with them.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Senator Warnock, you've said repeatedly that the exam room is too small for the patient, her doctor, and the U.S. government. We're asking you to take a clear position right now. Do you believe there should be any limitations on abortion set by the government? And you have 60 seconds.
I think that the women of this country and the women of this state woke up one summer morning and a core protection that they've known for 50 years was taken from.
You know what's another core protection that was taken from people? White people one morning woke up and the Supreme Court ruled Brown v. Ferguson. Or excuse me, Brown v. Board of Education. A 60-year precedent, by the way. So you could say all you want about the 50-year precedent. And I know a lot of my legal scholars out there are going to say, well, precedence is big. Sure. But it's not insurmountable. It's not. You see, the funny thing about a lot of liberal and progressives, they say that the Constitution could be, and that's why there's amendments. It could be changed. It could be rewritten until it has something to do with your interest. First Amendment is fine until we go against saying that the presidency was legit or not. Second Amendment is good only for certain sets of people, not for self-defense. Why would you do that? Right? Well, why? Who would it be for? Well, it could be for the military and police, but you don't support the police. You have all this defund the police around them. So if I'm a child thinking trivially, where do I know where these guys stand? They're all about defund the police, but then they're pro-Second Amendment? How could you be pro-Second Amendment when you say they're only a militia group can have it, like a military or the police? But if you don't trust them and you don't want them, then why don't we carry it? No, you can't carry it because look at those people doing those mass shootings. White people are doing this. No, it's not white people who are doing it. Everybody's doing it. So again, these are the problems fundamentally that we have when we hear a lot of this stuff and this rhetoric. It's just incredible to me. This is incredible to me. So let's continue here.
Them by an extremist Supreme Court. And I stand where I've said I stand in the past, that a patient's room is too narrow and small and cramped a space for a woman, her doctor, and the United States government. We are witnessing right now what happens when politicians, most of them men, pile into patients' rooms. You get what you're seeing right now. And the women of Georgia deserves a senator who will stand with them. I trust women more than I trust politicians.
May I respond?
Very quickly, Mr. Walker.
There are politicians who are women, dum-dum.
Yeah, you know, it is, and I heard about him. I heard he was a neat talker, but did he not mention that there was a baby in that room as well? And also, did he not mention that he asking the taxpayer to pay for it? So he's bringing the government back into the room. So he's not talking about that.
Right.
So when he mentioned that, it's like I've not seen too many pastors that would say that statement.
Mr. Warnock, I'll give you a chance to rebut.
I am a pastor. I'm a man of faith. And I have a profound reverence for life and a deep respect for choice. And because I have such a profound reverence for life, it's one of the reasons why I've stood up to address this issue of maternal mortality in our country. We lead all of the Western nations.
Okay, so we're going to care about the life of everything else, but rather than that third person that Herschel Walker has brought up, there's a third person in that person. There's someone else there. So don't just care about the life of the mother, also care about the life of the child. Also care about the life of the father. Right? There are a lot of lives to consider, but you show your hand when you have a certain pretext of whose life matters more than others. Does Black lives matter? Does white lives matter? Does the child lives matter? Does the mother's life matter? Everyone's life should matter and have some kind of significance. Is the mortality rate something that's going to jump to your mind and your conclusion? Now, that's something that the woman would have the discussion prior to making a child. If mortality rate is something that you would even be considering about, it's not something you consider about when the person is about to give birth. Mortality would be a discussion prior to the person conceiving a child. Now, if they didn't have the conversation and may need to take it a step further when you have conceived a child and they do their test, then the doctor could discuss if the mother is of good standing or not. They do a whole bunch of tests. They test your cervix, they test your body, they test your blood levels, they look and monitor. That's what prenatal care is all about. So how will now all of a sudden we're going to sit here and be concerned after decades upon decades? We were never concerned 20 years ago. We weren't concerned 40 years ago. We weren't concerned 50 years ago when the woman's right to choose came up. Look at the arguments. Was mortality rate the arguments in the 1970s? How about the 1950s? Was mortality rates the argument? No. If you read The Vision of the Anointed by Thomas Sowell, mortality rates wasn't the argument about the mother's mortality. The mortality rate of the child was the argument. Because children wouldn't last till birth. They would be miscarried or die or be born stillborn. So why is it now all of a sudden, this is why I don't trust these people. Forget trusting women, I don't trust any of them. Because my lion eyes could really read this very well. And that is this. I look at the entire argument from 1970s to now, and never once did I ever hear of the mortality rate of the mother until just recently when the pro-life movement has just had some legs to win over in the Supreme Court decision. Unbelievable. Now it's like, oh, but the moms are going to die. Oh, now this, that, and the third. Really? Moms are going to die. Show me the science on that. Well, 3 times more likely to die. Really? Because of what? Oh, the lack of medical care. Okay. Chinese have the lack of medical care. Mexicans in this country have the lack of medical care. And yet their mortality rate is pretty substantial, meaning they don't have a high mortality rate, is what I'm trying to say. Mexicans in this country do not have a high mortality rate despite the lack of medical care. Chinese do not have a high mortality rate despite the lack of care. These are other people of non-white descent who are not having an issue despite the fact that they get the lack of medical care. But they make it a race issue when it really doesn't need to be. And out of all the women who have children, they're probably saying they're 3 times as likely because their comparison partner are whites. But when you push back and argue and say, okay, there's nothing, you hear the argument, you'll say, well, fundamentally, black people don't have an issue with having children. No, they don't. Because in the early 1900s, on average, a black woman had 10 children in her lifetime. 10. Her counterpart, white, had about 5. So again, what happened? We have to go from that point forward, not stay stuck right here or a 50-year precedence. Is it prenatal care or is it the medical system? Because black women do better with doulas, midwives, than they do with doctors in the hospital. Instead of talking about the 3 times more likely to die in a hospital for giving birth or child rearing, why don't you talk about 3 times, 4 times more likely to give birth to a healthy child with a doula or a midwife? You see, that's the answer. That's something that you would go, wait a minute, what? Yeah, probably even 5 times more likely. That's why they had this movement of child rearing outside the hospital. It's huge right now. But they don't want you to see that in the public sphere. All they're doing is galvanizing and instilling fear into the younger woman to continuously resent and push back and turn their backs and turn away from their mans, turn away from their husbands. Make the sole responsibility and sole decision to ultimately up to them. And they think they're going to turn and change this whole paradigm where families will stay intact. Families can't stay intact when you keep intervening into them. Government should never be in your home, and your home should never depend on government. Period. Are we clear? I hope we are.
On that front, and black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die even when they have the insurance and the income. Now that's something government could actually do something about. And I joined with Marco Rubio of Florida to pass a bill to address maternal mortality. The women of Georgia have a clear choice as we're watching women die. Do you want a senator who wants to control your life, or do you want a senator who wants to save your life?
Well,
I want to save your life.
Well, what's funny,
We need
man,
to keep moving, Mr. Walker.
I have to respond to this.
Very quickly.
Because he told me Black Lives Matter. And if you think about it, Senator, in Atlanta, Georgia, there's more black baby that is aborted than anything. So if Black Lives Matter, why are you not protecting those babies? And instead of aborting those babies, why are you not baptizing those babies?
Mr. Warnock, or Senator Warnock.
Very good question. Instead of aborting those children, fundamentally, if anyone knows anything about the Bible, it is, and what it says, Herschel Walker says, you have the right to choose, sure. That doesn't mean it's the will of God. Yes, God has given us the right of free choice, given us the ability to choose what we want. But ultimately, the choice has a outcome, consequence, however you describe it, however you look at it. And as Herschel Walker had illustrated, the choice should be to choose life. And as he was going to eloquently illustrate, Adam and Eve did not choose life, they chose death. And as a pastor, Raphael Warnock knows this. This is why fundamentally I do not understand, coming from the projects in which Democrats created and sustained. This is why a lot of black people are not getting out of those areas. And not just black people, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans are not getting out of those areas because Democrats fund, sustain, and keep peddling like you guys ever watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? When the kids were on the ant, they were shrunk, they were on an ant, and they put something in front of the ant just to get them ant moving in a direction that they wanted to. That's what these politicians do to a lot of people in the Democrat District 9. They keep you moving forward in the way they want you to do. They rudder you like they rudder a ship. There's no real fundamental reason why Raphael Warnock, as a Bible-thumping believer, we're talking about a holier-than-thou, judgmental kind of believer. This guy's big time, right? Teaching in the church in which Martin Luther King once taught. Preaching at a church where Martin Luther King once preached. In a place where Martin Luther King also was represented as a Republican. Because in his day, Black Americans knew who were on their side. And if Black Americans stood away from the party, it had nothing to do with the fact that Democrats do better for them. This was a referendum about the Republican Party not doing for them like they always done historically. That's it. The Democrat Party is not for the Black community. Never has, never will be. Because they've never answered to the very nasty, deep, dark secret, which we all know is not a secret, that the political arm of the past, the armed enforcer of the Democrat Party were the KKK. If you look at Bo Connor, Woodrow Wilson, all KKK sympathizers, all Democrats. You look at the Goldwater South. You look at when Richard Nixon went up against Jimmy Carter. Who won the South? Jimmy Carter. Who was a Goldwater Democrat? Jimmy Carter. Who won that Southern strategy? Jimmy Carter. Nixon was not a racist KKK member or a sympathizer. The confusion is to get you thinking that he was. The best thing to do is to get you thinking that he embodies the hatred so Black people can move to the other side. This has been a trigger ploy since the inception of this movement. That's why I said the Democrat Party has never been for the Black community. Never have, never will. And you can cry, moan, and kick and scream all you want. You can argue the minuscule details and say the party switched. No, party didn't switch. Not buying it. At the end of the day, we all know who's for who. Now, I am glad to see that the Republican Party has steered back their way to being for the Black community. And they're being for them not by what they can give to them, by the opportunity and space they are allowing to give back to them. Saying, we're going to get out of the way. We're going to listen to Jason Riley and stop helping you because we know you can do this on your own. You're not handicapped. You're not less than. You don't have a low IQ. We're going to treat you like Ronald Reagan treated you. We're going to treat you like Richard Nixon treated you. We're going to treat you like Eisenhower treated you. We're going to treat you like Teddy Roosevelt treated you. You're another human being. You're going to have to pick up and hold your own weight. But Woodrow Wilson, FDR, people like Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Raphael Warnock want to turn it around. Jimmy Carter want to turn this around and say, well, we have to help the poor Blacks. Oh, those poor Blacks got to run away from those bad whites. They want to make it like that. And unfortunately, we keep buying into it. We got to stop it. That has to stop. In all honesty, we need to grow up emotionally, mentally, and politically. Because the real progression is when we understand that government works for us, not us working for government. And if we grow up and understand it's not what our government could do for us, it's what we can do for them. We're the ones that they need. They need us. We don't need them. Let's continue.
Mornin, we'll give you a chance to respond to that.
I think the women of Georgia have a clear choice.
Clear choice. No
Even in the
he
case
did.
of rape.
First off, he did make the concession by saying the heartbeat bill. Just read the heartbeat bill. Anybody watching this on replay. All right, let's fast forward to this part this is what's going to be talked about on Democrat TV. Check this out. I want you guys to see this. Gun violence solutions.
Invest to Protect, that's endorsed by the sheriffs of Burke County and Scriven County because it supports some of our smaller law enforcement entities. So we got to stand up with law enforcement, but we've also got to create opportunity.
Senator Warnock, thank you. Mr. Walker, we're posing the same question to you, sir. In 1 minute, what should the next step be to solve gun violence?
Well, first of all, any law or bill passed that will affect anyone's Second Amendment, I'm not going to stand for and I won't support. But third, to hear...
Why won't you support it, Herschel? Because the NRA was started for Black Americans who are disenfranchised and the KKK Democrats didn't want you and didn't trust you to have a gun? Why would you not want to support somebody who steps on your Second Amendment right? Raphael Warnock should know that. You guys see the biggest problem here in this debate? This is a huge problem. Raphael Warnock is not trying to clean the Democrat Party. He's not trying to call out the Democrat Party to say, hey, why are you going after our Second Amendment rights? Do you know what this means historically to us? Hey, and again, why are you going after us in this particular field? Do you know what this means to us? Do you know who the KKK were? They weren't Republicans. And who are your new armed enforcers? The Antifa, BLM? Why do you continue to terrorize our country? Why do you continue to do these things? When you know what works, why do you go the other way? Why can't we have politicians who call out their own party? And I mean this on both sides, folks. Call out your own damn party and clean it up. For goodness sakes.
Senator Warnock talks about supporting law enforcement. It's sad because he's called them names. And because of the name calling he's done, the morale is down, recruitment is down, only because of what he's done. He's empowered criminals to think they're better than the police.
Damn right.
And because he believes in no cash bail, in releasing prisoners, he don't protect the border. Fentanyl is coming to this country and also into Atlanta. 70% of the drugs.
I want you guys to remember his nonchalant reaction here. Look at Warnock's reaction to that. Look at that shrug. I want you to remember that when they tried to blame this on the government again. Drugs are infesting this country at a rapid rate faster than the crack and heroin epidemic. Fentanyl killed George Floyd, and fentanyl will kill many more Black Americans, as it has done already white Americans. I want you to remember this nonchalant behavior, because if Warnock wins this, if Warnock stays a politician for the next 20 years, I want you to mark my words, when the Democrat Party and these Black activists want to turn this around against the government, say the government purposely brought the drugs in here. I want you to remember this nonchalant behavior by Raphael Warnock. I want you to remember every time Nancy Pelosi would double down on the Republicans and saying, you are just lying. You are just doing this. And every time we bring up about fentanyl, no, it's not true. No, I want you guys to remember this. Remember this. They say they care about the Black community, but they don't care about it when it comes to the abortions, and they damn sure don't care about it when it comes to fentanyl. Fentanyl is killing Black Americans. Fentanyl is killing all Americans by the boatload. So I want you to remember that nonchalant, nasty response. And I also want you to remember his actual words here. Check this out.
He's coming from the border, goes to Atlanta, Georgia. And he talks about the police. I have more sheriffs that has endorsed me than anyone running in Georgia right now. And I even have some sheriffs here, and they've endorsed me because they know I have their back, they're gonna have my backs. So to listen to him say that after calling them name, I think it's a disgrace.
Mr. Walker, thank you. I have a follow-up now for both of you.
I think I ought to be able to respond to that.
I will give you the opportunity, 15 seconds to respond, Senator Warnock.
We will see time and time again tonight, as we've already seen, that my opponent has a problem with the truth. And just because he said something doesn't mean it's true. I have supported our police officers. I've called them and I've prayed with their families.
What part is not true? The support for police or the fact that fentanyl is entering that area? I want you guys to listen to that clear, because now I'm going to pull the emotional tug screen, your strings, and tell you how much I called the police and prayed with them and prayed with their families, especially when one of them dies. Yeah, sure. But that's not the only thing Herschel Walker was talking about. Do you care about the fentanyl that's infesting that area in Fulton County, Atlanta, Georgia, Southside Atlanta? Do you care about any of that?
Like those officers lost in Cobb County when they were killed doing what police officers routinely do. You can support police officers, I've done, the COPS program, through the Invest to Protect program, while at the same time holding police officers, like all professions, accountable. One thing I have not done, I've never pretended to be a police officer, and I've never threatened a shootout with the police.
Well, and now I have to respond to that.
We are moving on,
I have to
gentlemen.
respond to that. And you know what's so funny? I am work with many police officers, and at the same time,
Mr.
Pastor,
Walker, Mr. Walker,
no, no,
Mr.
no,
Walker,
no. When he
Mr.
say a
Walker,
problem with
excuse
the
me,
truth-
Mr. Walker.
when he
Please,
say a problem
out of
with the truth,
respect,
the truth is
I
in
need to
here.
let you.
All right, so he's not supposed to have a prop. Yeah. And many of these Democrats are going to argue. He said he is a police officer. He never said that. He says, I am a supporter of the police. And you might be asking, well, then why the hell did he show his badge? If that's what you really are asking, if that's what you really care about. I don't care about this because, again, for me, I look at that as, again, he's not a politician. He's not polished. And he also is not a good speaker. But fundamentally, I agree with some of the things he brought up. So here's his response to why he showed this badge.
This one from? This is from my hometown. This is from Johnson County, from the sheriff from Johnson County, which is a legit badge. Everyone can make fun, but this badge give me the right. Let me finish. If anything happened in this county, I have the right to work with the police and getting things done.
Walker saying. So that means he in a moment's notice. What Walker's saying is he could be deputized at a moment's notice. That's what that badge is. It's like an auxiliary badge. Auxiliary police officers can be deputized at a moment's notice and can make lawful arrest. They have some differences. They can't just run out the way normal cops do. There is some distinctions. And I guess we're going to clarify it here. Let's see, because apparently we need to clarify it.
And he's participated in training and leadership programs with law enforcement for years.
Does that have arresting authority or it's an honorary badge?
It is an honorary.
I believe that she asked that seriously. Like, does it have arresting authority or does it honorary? Like, do you really have to answer that? It's an honorary badge, dum-dum. Does he look like a cop? Does he go out and wear his uniform? Have you seen him on the beat and patrol? Stupid. Like, these people just don't think sometimes. And this is just a referendum on the people watching.
It's an honorary badge, but they can call me whenever they want me, and I have the authority to do things for them, to work with them on things.
That's what that means. He could be deputized at a moment's notice, which means what? He could have arresting powers.
National Sheriff's Association said an honorary badge, quote, is for the trophy case. Why make the decision to flash it at the debate?
That is totally not true.
The Johnson County Sheriff confirmed to NBC News he gave Walker the honorary badge and could enlist Walker's help in a crisis. The Georgia race just won.
There you go. There you go. You guys heard it there yourself. Not from his mouth, but from the commentator and the news coverage of it. He could call upon him when necessary, meaning he can deputize him. It's not that. We know that certain areas in this country, policing is a bit different. But of course, you have people out there because you're not the right kind of Negro. I want you guys to look at this. Roland Martin, which I honestly don't understand this guy really. And I don't think he knows his history. But look at how he depicts Herschel Walker here.
To expand
Lord have
Medicaid
mercy.
under affordable.
Georgia, there's no way in hell y'all could even remotely think about voting for that fool Herschel Walker. Matt, Jason, and Michael, I'm looking at comments on social. I'm looking at, that is absolutely one of the dumbest people I have ever seen stand before the public to want to be a United States senator.
You would think he's talking about Joe Biden. Listen, like I said at the beginning of this show, if liberals have to put us through 4 years of Joe Biden, liberals could live through 2-year term increments of Herschel Walker as senator. Give me a freaking break. Joe Biden can barely put a sentence together. The guy is eating ice cream talking about how the economy is rock solid. Under whose watch? Where are you, brother? You're shaking hands with ghosts. You're being led and directed by the Easter Bunny. Your wife has to tell you you're standing too close. You're holding hands with Gretchen Whitmer. That's not your wife. And not a single blip from the media. He doesn't know where he needs to stand half the time. He's saying things off the cuff, trying to be like Donald Trump, but he can't. I want to ask you this. Bernie Sanders is older than Joe Biden. And I want to ask you this question. Tell me who sounds more sane. Tell me who sounds more coherent. It's not his age, folks. Something's wrong with him. But if you can put us through 4 years of something wrong, Joe Biden, with his crime family literally unraveling before our eyes, hell, we could deal with a guy who's lying about abortion in Fulton County, Atlanta, Georgia, in Herschel Walker. Am I right? But here's how these nasty imbeciles want to talk about Herschel Walker. Here's where they say it's okay to talk about the Negro.
Who am I going to start with first?
You can start with me, Roland.
Fine, go ahead.
Well, see, you got to understand Georgia. And the white people in Georgia that support Brian Kemp, that support Donald Trump, this is the type of Negro they like. Dana Loesch, how do you pronounce her name?
Lash.
She said, Dana Lash said she doesn't care basically what he did. He could abort baby eagles or what have you. This is about raw naked power. This is what these white supremacists want. They want a dumb Negro who they can tell what to do, and he'll go vote the way that they want.
Joe Patrick, folks. Joe Patrick said it the best on a TikTok live. Why would I want to hang out with you people? Now, before some of you white people go and crazy, especially you white liberals out there, you white saviors go, oh, how could you say something like that? When people talk about you like that, why would you want to hang out with them? When people say that these white people are using you, when you're like, wait a minute, who's using me? Or this is the kind of Negro you like. I want to ask these black people, any person of color, if someone outside your race was talking about me like that, how would you feel? Would you care? You wouldn't. Let me tell you why. There was a white liberal, don't know her name, don't care about it, literally called the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas a dumb N-word. Put it on Twitter and was called out for it by the conservative side. I don't remember seeing any Democrat or progressive liberal or any rational, sound-minded black person to step up and say how that was wrong. This is the kind of bullshit that we have to deal with in this country. It's okay to do it to you if you're a conservative, but us, you can't touch us. We're the promised ones. We're the untouchables. This is despicable behavior. This is not about unifying or disunity or division. This is pure hatred towards one another. You're not for our vision and our agenda, then we're going to treat you like a Sambo. We're going to treat you like this. And we know the historical context by it. Don't you worry. We're going to call you a tap dancer. Don't you worry. We know the historical context. It's okay to call each other that and hurl insults that, but the minute a white man does it, it's a disgrace and a revelation of how white supremacist our country is. Maybe we need to stop talking to each other like that. Maybe we need to start respecting each other's differences. Hell, if Roland Martin wants to come at Herschel Walker and his panel wants to come at Herschel Walker for his policy ideas, rather than being called a dumb Negro that white supremacists want to use, how about we learn to stop talking like that to each other? You can disagree with me all you want. You can say to me, hey, that's that and the third. I get told all the time, hey, maybe you shouldn't use the word libtard or woketard. Why? They call me a dumb Negro all the time, a tap dancer, a sellout to the white man. I'm tap dancing. Why? Why should I stop talking to you like that when I constantly get berated by you? Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I'm doing this for anybody else but me, myself, and my family, my own interests. I know what works and I want to do what works. You guys want to go off your own stick, blame everything on the white man, and I guarantee to you, if there's not a single white man that lives in this country, in fact, there are places in this world where there's not a single white man that lives in the country, and yet we don't see the economic success. We don't see the kind of freedom that they're talking about. But yet, despite the fact there's not a single white man in that country, they'll still blame it on a white man. It's time we start to realize what's really in front of us. It's time for us to start looking at the mirror. The Bible says it's easier to look at somebody else's transgressions, but very hard to look at your own. You have to first take the log out of your own eye. Or before you take the speck out of somebody else's eye, take that log out of your own eye. So many people are so fixated on what somebody else is doing. So fixated about what you're doing for somebody else. There ain't no damn way this black man could be doing this for himself. Ain't no damn way Kanye's doing this for the money. Candace is doing this for the white man and doing it for the money. Look at who supports her. Racist Republicans. Candace Owens is far from racist. Candace Owens does more positives for the black community than BLM has done in the past decade. I'm going to say that again. Candace Owens has done more good for the black community than BLM has ever done in a decade's worth of time. With all the money they've rallied, all the animus and emotionally charged people they have in this country, there's nobody who's been more successful in the modern day than Candace Owens and Blexit. Blexit is very successful. There ain't no dirty, nasty mysteries going on with Blexit. Black Guns Matter, Colin Noir, Brandon Tatum, Jason Riley. These people are highly successful and very black. It's ridiculous to see some of the rhetoric that's coming out of these people. It's really despicable, and they ought to be ashamed of themselves. We'll get to the Marjorie Greene Taylor clip tomorrow. I want to show this next clip because this is the first time we've seen this in Bristol, Connecticut, in almost half a century. I want you guys to see what just transpired over there over the weekend or just before the weekend. Check this out.
Two police officers in Bristol, Connecticut were shot and killed and a third injured in an apparent ambush.
A hero salute today in honor of Sergeant Dustin Del Monte and Officer Alex Hamzy. Police say late last night the officers arrived at a home after a call for help, but were then met by gunfire. CBS 2's Allie Bauman in Bristol tonight, where the community is in mourning.
The officers were responding to a 911 call for a domestic dispute between brothers when the suspect allegedly opened fire. Investigators believe the call itself was a fake, a deadly ploy to lure the officer to the suspect's home. You know, Bristol is nicknamed the All Heart City, and tonight the city's heart is broken. The Bristol Police Department is overflowing. Police are working to figure out a motive as well as the suspect's brother's role in this apparent ambush. The last time an officer died in the line of duty here in Bristol was 1944. In Bristol, Connecticut.
1944. Not a record that we wanted to break, huh? But this is just a reminder how bad it's gotten. That people not only ambushing police officers in Bristol, Connecticut, but they're ambushing them in all over the country. People do not want to be a police officer anymore. Slowly but surely, there's no one there to enforce, or there's going to be a time where you call that 911 phone call and they'll say, we'll be there in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. All very sacred time. What are we going to do then? When you have these Democrats hindering your ability for your right to bear arms? What are we going to do then? What are they going to say then? What is going to be the politics then? We've defunded the police. We've denigrated white people to the point where they're second-class citizens. What are we going to do when they're still not the outcome that these activists want? When Benjamin Crump doesn't feel like he's gotten enough money already? When BLM doesn't feel like they've gotten enough done, they got to get more done. What are we going to do then? Because the black plight has been argued since 1960. And you got to tell me that I hear on TikTok that we're more racist today than in the 1960s. Perhaps we're more racist because you guys can't get over it. As Todd Bowles said, the sooner you get over this, the sooner we move on from this. But you guys keep bringing it up. You guys want to keep talking about this stuff. You guys want to keep making this about race. Well, here we are. You guys can have that conversation, not me. And that'll do it for this edition of Morning Fix Live Radio Show, folks. It's been a pleasure this Monday morning. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss it. We're going to be covering the Marjorie Greene Taylor debate with Marcus Flowers. We're going to be covering a whole other things that teachers are leaving the unions. Where? We'll cover that tomorrow. So you're going to want to tune into that. We'll be right back here again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a great Monday.